doctorates worldwide. Before the session, we would like to felicitate Sir. Sir, two of our students will felicitate Sir.
We are already running late.
It will take just a minute, Sir. Please put your hands together and a huge round of applause for Sir. Sir will be giving a session on publication in reputed journals. We all are eagerly waiting for this session. So, Sir, dais is yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. As-salatu was-salam ala shafil anbiya al-mursaleen wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Sorry. It's okay, it's okay. अच्छा ठीक আছে all right. First of all, apology for the delay, about already 40 minutes. Actually, I was ready at 2 o'clock, but there was some interview. Somebody came from outside to interview because now I have become very important person. So suddenly, so somebody came from outside, and then somebody proposed after the valedictory session. But I said that no, then she has to wait for 2-3 hours. So I think this is not good. So I allowed. So that's why I am late here for 40 minutes. Anyway, this topic, strategies for, but before that, I welcome all of you for attending this session, and I hope that you had good times in the other sessions, and today is my presentation. I hope that this will be useful to you. However, I must say that time is not enough. I was given 2 hours, but now reduced to less than 1.5 hours. So I am a bit under tension how to finish this, because this requires at least 1 day. Then I can go into the details. Possibly, maybe if Allah wills, then we can have some session for 1 day. In fact, I have mentioned in my inauguration speech that each and every component, I mean the session, that requires wider time. I'm sure you have felt that, because like say, what do you call the literature review? Literature review is a very huge thing and very, very important thing. So I attended a workshop on literature review for 2 days. Similarly, data analysis, you cannot have just 1 hour. This is এটা একেবারে হাস্যকর যে 1 ঘন্টার মধ্যে data analysis. Just some exposure, that's all, not more than that. So anyway, we will try in future to organize more hands-on session, topic by topic. Not all topic like 5 days. This could be just some kind of overall exposure, but I think due to the lack of time, the facilitators cannot go into depth and the details which you require. Anyway, we will try. I may skip some of the slides because about 90 slides. And if you require these slides, I think the organizing committee members can pass to you later. So please feel free to contact them. They will be happy to share with you. And I am always at the spirit to sharing the knowledge. So my slides have no copyright, nothing. In fact, some of the slides actually I did not prepare, which you will see. Most of the slides I have prepared myself, but some of the slides I have taken from my seniors. So the outline of the presentation is that, can I use this microphone? Does it work? No. Does it work? Because I need to move a little bit. Okay, all right. I think this is better. No? I think better issue. Better issue. Anyway, the objective of our presentation outline is, because as a lecturer, I cannot just simply stand on in one place. I have to move. That's my habit. So if it is possible, this is okay. Otherwise, I can stand as well. Characteristic of a strong manuscript, importance of publications, that should be first. Format of an article, from thesis to an article. Is it important from thesis to an article? Very, very important. When you do your master's thesis, then you have to publish. So you have to convert your thesis, your master's thesis, to a paper. Similarly, from your PhD thesis, you have to convert to papers. How many papers? That depends. But you have to convert the thesis to paper. So this is very, very important topic. Finding a suitable journal, very, very important. Finding a suitable journal. Submission outcomes, impact factor, H-index particularly, index journals, means Web of Science, Scopus, some other index as well. What is the importance of publication? If you publish one paper, what is the value of this paper? Ringgit Malaysia, you may not be aware. Ringgit Malaysia is the currency of Malaysia. Exchange rate is about 19 to 20 rupees per ringgit. So 1,000 ringgit or 50,000 ringgit, or maybe just 50,000 means 5 lakh. Na 50 lakh. What is the value of a publication? Answer is, we cannot attach any number. This is something we cannot measure. I give my own experience. I was working in BITS Pilani, and then I applied for lecturership to International Islamic University, Malaysia. I sent my CV. Then the response was, your CV will be kept in view. Means polite term for rejection. Kept in view. But still there is a hope, not 100% rejection. Then I got just an acceptance letter of some journal editor that was part of my PhD work. Acceptance letter. The journal is European Journal of Operational Research, EJOR, very good journal. And I sent this acceptance letter to the head of the Department of Business Administration Department. Head of Business Administration Department, that said I have got one acceptance. And then it clicked. Then he sent his opinion evaluation to the register office. Then register office sent some letter to the IOS. You see that IOS I am attached to. Institute of Objective Studies, that is in New Delhi. Professor Dr. Manjur Alam was the director. He's still there. Then he called me for interview. IOS called me for interview. Alhamdulillah, the interview was good. And then I got the chance. And I worked there for how many years? 27 years. Out of 27 years, 18 years as a full professor. You know how much money I have earned? How can you attach the monetary value to a publication? This is just my own experience I have shared. Ladies and gentlemen, you cannot attach any numerical value, any monetary value to publication. Your wonderful work will not be known to the rest of the world unless you get it published. So you are a writer. Somebody is giving a speech here, look like Barack Obama. Barack Obama is a very good speaker. I like him. His speech is a very good speaker. And these are all the people. Similarly here, if you do not publish, then you cannot reach to this mass, the rest of the world. The world is very large. So we have to publish. We have to publish. Academic careers are research-based. No matter how good you are in teaching as a lecturer, if you are not publishing, it's very unlikely that you will be getting promoted. Correct? So publication is very, very important. Research work needs publication in order to be disseminated. Publication of work pushes scientific progress. If the scientists, if the inventors, if the researchers, if they don't publish, in fact, if you go to 200, 300 years ago, like I was a student of mathematics, like Euler, Lagrange, Cauchy, great mathematicians. There were journals. They used to publish, and then they used to came to know the other people, just like us. But the process was very slow. But there was some outlet. So we have to publish. Why we have to publish? To get PhD degree, to get funding, to get promoted. But look at the comments here. When you submit to a journal, the editor or the reviewer does not care. What is your objective? They will look into quality. Whether you are a student as a corresponding author, whether you are a student or you are a professor, does not matter. They will look into quality of the work. What is that distinguishes a very good manuscript from a bad one? What is it? That means what is strong manuscript? Has a clear, useful, and exciting message, presented and constructed in a logical manner. Reviewers and editors can grasp the significance easily. What are the types of manuscript? We can have conference paper, research note, or short communication. Some of us we write, but not much. Concept paper, also not much. Most of the research are there here. Research paper, review paper also, case study sometime. As far as the citation is concerned, what type of paper gets higher citation? Review paper. If you are writing a review paper, you can get a lot of citations, especially in the first few years. But then later on, it declines. So citation-wise, review paper, if you write a review paper, then your citation will go quite high. Main points for a strong manuscript, I will not go into details this because I have some other slides for this, but just heading here, need for the research. That is one of the most important things. Why you are carrying out this research? Definitely there should be need. I will come back to this point again. Significance of the study. Is it significant enough to conduct this research, especially PhD level? Relationship to literature. Sound methodology means research design, data collection methods, data analysis and use of data, clarity of conclusions, quality of communication, etc. I will come back to these points later. That's why I was a bit fast. Now, format of an article, I have given here few items, I think, which is common to almost all the articles. By the way, my lecture will be more related to social science because I have conducted my research in the past in the area of business administration. Though I did my PhD in mathematics, but many years ago. After that, I have not conducted any research on mathematics, and most of them, I'm honest to say that I have forgot. So my lecture points may not be fully relevant to the students here, is a scholar who are engineering background. Your process is quite different, some of the things from the social science. Okay, title, common. Abstract. After abstract, then we have introduction. Introduction must have statement of the problem. What's the problem all about? Research objective and research question. I think it should be or. Because the article should be very concisely written. Don't give both. Thesis can have both question as well as objective, but research objective, even most of the time we provide research objective in the introduction. Justification of the study, significance of the study. Then literature review. These are all part of introduction I have mentioned. Literature review, methodology, data analysis, result, discussion, conclusion. Before references, there is also important section that is called acknowledgement. Don't forget that. Acknowledgement is good. Even if you are sending the revised paper, you can acknowledge the reviewers. The comments have been very insightful, very helpful. So we'd like to express gratitude to the reviewers, because your revised paper will go to them. And when they see that you have acknowledged their contribution, they'll be very happy. So we can do that. And references. Okay, general structure of a research article. This is from Elsevier, as you can see here. Elsevier. Title, abstract keywords. See the fish? This is not much, because abstract should be very concise. Most of the stuff of a paper comes the main part of the fish, right? And then you have conclusion here. Conclusion cannot be too long. Acknowledgement, references, supplementary data or appendix, not that common, but some of the papers, it can be there. All right, so let's go ahead. 6 questions is in manuscript preparation. What are the 6 questions? What is the problem? So your introduction must highlight this. What is the status of the problem? Literature review. What did you do? What did you do to investigate the problem? You have to mention in the methods. What did you find? That is result. What does that mean? That is discussion. And what is your conclusion? So that will be under conclusion. How do you write a research paper? What should be the starting point? So this is one suggestion from Elsevier. Elsevier is a very reputed publisher. They say that the person who developed this slide mentioned here that figures and tables, and I agree. It's very easy to start with because you have the result, right, in the tabular format. When you run, let's say SPSS, the social scientists, they use SPSS a lot. Mathematics or engineering, they may be using MATLAB. So we have figures and tables, so we can start with that. And that's very easy, no problem at all. We can that. Then methods, we can describe the methods, results, discussion, followed by conclusion and introduction. And the last we should write title and abstract. There is no hard and fast rule. If you want to write abstract first, introduction, go ahead. But this is just one suggestion which you may think whether it is helpful to you or not. Key to writing, the path, one of the research scholars of mine from Bangladesh, Kaji Tariq, I remember, he said, sir, আমার হাত সরছে না, কি লিখবো, কোথা থেকে শুরু করব, একটু স্যার কিছু বলবেন বাংলাতে? এবার তো বাংলাদেশে। আমি বললাম, আপনার মনে যা আসে আপনি তাই লিখুন না, হাত সরবে, হাতটাকে সরাতে হবে। হাত সরছে না, তার মানে ও থিঙ্ক করছে আমি তো রিসার্চ তারপরে লিখবো খুব হাই হবে, সফিস্টিকেটেড হবে, কোথা থেকে শুরু করব, হয়। Just forget about, just write, because this will be your first draft. Then you will have second draft, then third draft, and so on. So don't worry about that. I have mentioned here, pre-write your thoughts. Don't worry about the structure initially. Eventually it will be done. You need to have a skeleton, then you can fill up the skeleton one by one later on. Then I will also suggest that when you are conducting literature review, you will be going through a number of research papers. And you will find that eventually, I'm very sure, some of those papers, maybe one or maybe two, will be very, very well written. And it is just touching your research problem. That can be your model. This is my personal advice. I feel that. In fact, I also do that. When I conduct my research, I try to find out a very good research paper, which is almost 100% all right. All the good characteristics are there in that paper, so I can follow that particular paper. All right, so that is the one. Keep writing, concise, dynamic, simple in construction. Convey enthusiasm in your writing so it attracts the audience. Now I will be going one by one. Title. I think this is extremely important. If the title is dull, ভালো করে যদি লেখা না হয়, এটা কিন্তু অডিয়েন্সকে বা রিডার্সকে অ্যাট্রাক্ট করতে পারবে না। আমরা যখন ডাটাবেস সার্চ করি, কিভাবে সার্চ করি? কিওয়ার্ডস দেই, তারপরে আমরা লিস্ট অফ টাইটেলস পাই। টাইটেলস তো হাজারখানি হতে পারে, তো হাজারখানি তো আমার পক্ষে ডাউনলোড করা তো সম্ভব নয়। তাহলে আমাকে কি করতে হবে? টাইটেল দেখতে হবে, তাই না? আমরা সবাই করি। অতএব টাইটেল obviously is very, very important. So it has to be reflective. ChatGPT আমরা অনেকেই ইউজ করি for productive purpose. You have framed a title, but you are not so happy. You put this in ChatGPT that this is my title. Can there be better titles? You will find that there will be many good suggestions. So your title must be very, very good. No doubt about that. But for title, there is also some guidelines. How long the title can be. 7 to 15 words. Never exceed 20 words, including even in, preposition, in, of, counting of. Never exceed 20 words. Mention all the key variables in your research. If you look at the PhD thesis title, your title must reflect the entire thesis. So the main variables should be there. Focus and accuracy. The topic must be specific, must encapsulate the content of the paper, should not contain rarely used abbreviations. Rarely used. There can be abbreviations, but rarely used abbreviations should not be there. Remember, the readers are the potential authors who will cite your article. Examples of good titles. Look at the first one. Writing high quality papers. Views from researchers. See, it's clear. Secondly, determining key capabilities of a firm using analytic hierarchy process. It's clear. A decision aid in warehouse site selection means the person is going to develop some aid. Employee motivation and Indian perspective. I have paper on Malaysian perspective. I just changed the name. How can managers reduce employee intention to quit? Remember, title can have question mark. There are many good papers you will find. The title is your research question. First research question can be, no problem. Titles that are poorly formed, because the editor, journal editor will look into your title first. If the title is the analytic hierarchy process for Indian Oil Corporation, he will be thinking, Indian Oil Corporation has a lot of issues. So which issue you are talking about? It's not clear. It's not clear. Second, application of MCDM approaches. MCDM is multiple criteria decision making. This acronym can be there because this is very well known. Application of MCDM approaches in airlines industry. So if MCDM approaches, MCDM has more than 20 approaches. MCDM has more than 20 approaches. Are you dealing with all 20 approaches? Never. Cannot be like that. And also in airlines industry, airline industry is a very huge industry. So where you are focusing? So this is not a good title. Abstract, this is one of the most important thing is this, that many times if the journal is a very good journal, top class journal, the editor, they just look at your title of the paper and he will go through or she will go through the abstract. From there he will make decision whether it should be sent to the reviewers or not. Journal of International Business, GI, JIBS, their rejection rate is 95%. Desk rejection. You know what is desk rejection? You send to the editor, within 3 days you will get the judgment, verdict, decision. That is called desk rejection, because their submission rate is very high and the reviewers are always limited. It is one of the problems for the journal editors is finding out the good reviewers. So the reviewers should not be given any paper. So what is my suggestion for abstract? Should be brief summary of 150 to 200 words. It depends upon the journal. Like in their science, their journal, all the journals, the maximum number of words is 150. So you have to check the guidelines. Short and concise sentence in one paragraph. Abstract, usually one paragraph, including PhD thesis abstract. No citation, you know all this. No citation, no tables, no equation, no graphs, no references, no quotation. The abstract must start with a statement of your problem. That is very, very important. What is the first sentence of your abstract? Very, very important. You have to look into that. Then indicate the variables involved and how this will be measured. In the abstract should encapsulate all the components of your paper, like your objective, your research method, your finding, your conclusion, all very, very briefly, but clear. That's what this is the art. How good you are in encapsulating the entire paper using 200 words, for example. Okay. Abstracts can be written at the end, I have already mentioned. First time write it freely and subsequently edit it. You have to edit the abstract a number of times before you send to the editor journal. Statement of the problem. This section is crucial as it indicates the reason why the study is undertaken. So that is called statement of the problem. Write the statement of the problem, which could be a description of the current problem situation or a gap in knowledge. I think it is a very long way. This is followed by a description of the problem. Look at this one, this point. At the end of this statement, what you should write? Therefore, comma, this study intends to. This, therefore, before therefore, you are describing the problem and you have to convince that none has solved this problem or done this research. Therefore, this research, this study intends to fill up this gap, something like that. No need to have a separate section for this. It is a part of the introduction. For PhD thesis, especially business management, DBA thesis, DBA thesis, there is a separate section for a statement of the problem. And few pages are written, but here there is no separate section for that. Examples, I have given you some examples of the first line. Look at this, the first sentence. The change of the medium of instruction is causing anxiety among parents. So from the very beginning, you are projecting what kind of problem you are going to search, investigate. The number of unemployed graduates in India is increasing year by year. So that means it sounds that you are going to do something on unemployment, which is a very important issue. The time to achieve the objective of Vision 2025 is around the corner. However, countries' human resource development index is not up to the mark. One of my research areas is Vision 20 in Malaysian context. A country can be developed country not just because of infrastructure development, but because of human resource development. Both have to be there. So developed countries definition is not just by simply infrastructure development, it's also human resource development. But in these countries, we have problem in human resource development. We may have very 30-story, 50-story building, does not matter. How good the human beings are inside those buildings. That's the indicator for developed country. Okay, need for the study. Need for the study. So here, I have mentioned here, need for the study. I mentioned this before. Yet, despite being acknowledged as one of the major challenges faced by HLIs, few researchers have attempted to explore the issue in depth. So this kind of sentence should be in your introduction section. So that shows that there is a need for this study. You have to convince the editor or the reviewer, yes, there is a need for this study. I am not doing just for nothing. There is a need for this study. So you have to convince that. Research objective also should be very clear-cut. Sometimes it is not that clear. We have to make it clear, even for PhD studies also. To investigate the effect of the change in the medium of instruction on students' academic achievements. To identify, these are called action verb. If you look at the Bloom taxonomy, I'm sure many of you is heard about the Bloom taxonomy. So they have many words. Some of the words you have to choose, which is relevant for your study, like to examine, to investigate, to analyze, to design, to develop. Look at which one is most suitable for you. If you are doing for qualitative study, possibly you have to do to identify. But if you say that qualitative study, then you mention to analyze. Of course, you have to do the analysis later, but main thing is the identification. So you have to be careful about using these words. Conceptual framework in social science may not be that relevant in engineering or basic science, but in social science is very, very common, especially in the area of marketing. It's very, very common. These are the called independent variables, and this is called dependent variable. This is called, do you know what is the name of this? Mediating variable. I'm sure you have heard this. And what are those? Moderator variable. Independent variable, dependent variable, mediator variable. Mediator means in between. It's very easy to remember. And moderator variable. So this conceptual framework is, if you are using like structure equation modeling for your data analysis or method, this is compulsory. You have to provide conceptual framework. Significance of the study, how significant the study is, that indicate potential practical or policy implications for your research. Intellectual merit, how your research will make an original contribution, how it will fill gaps in existing research. If you have a model, I mentioned already, if you have a model research paper, then you don't have to worry. You will find that all components are there. Literature review. Without literature review, you cannot complete your studies, because the objective of study is to find out something new. How do you know that this is new? It's going to be new. So you have to do the review. What has been done and what can be done. So what has been done, literature review, compulsory. And the more, the better. One of the characteristics of a good thesis is this. What is the depth of literature review of your thesis? How hardworking you are in writing your literature review. How analytical you are in synthesizing the past literature. This is very, very important. Start with a broad background and then narrow it down to your field of study. I have one link here. Just, okay. This one I have to. Your objective is to deal with employability for private higher learning institution. That is your area. So what should be your literature review starting point? Starting point could be quality of higher education, broad area. Start broad. Like say triangle is like this. You go upside down the triangle. Clear? So then the upside means the base is up. That means is the broad. Now more you go down, come down, then you will get the vertex. That is your research area. So after this, quality of higher education, there are two types of institution. One is public and other is private. So you go for private higher learning institutions. You will get a lot of literature. And after that, when you review the literature on private higher learning institutions, you will be getting all these areas. So a little bit you describe, and then finally you zero in on employment and see what are the recent works, and then identify the gap, and then you conclude your literature review. Clear? All right. Emphasize on recent article. This is one of the frequently asked questions by the reviewers, examiners. Oh, your literature review is outdated. Why you did not updated your literature review? Remember, your PhD study could be 6 years, 5 years, and you develop your research proposal in second year, and you are submitting your thesis in after 4 years. These 4 years, there is no need for literature review? No. Still you have to do. Still you have to do. Literature review is a dynamic. And most of the time, we the examiners, the reviewers advise go for last 5 years. This is one of the indicators that whether your literature review is done or not. Sometimes people, the reviewers, examiners, they will not read your entire thing. They will just read the indicators like 202, 2024, reference is there. I'm not talking about 2025. 2024, 2023, 20, none is there. Oh, that means your literature is not updated. So this is one indicator. So you have to be careful about that. Okay, there is another link here called concept map. I think our time is very limited. I will not go into details. I usually follow this. How do we go for literature review? How do you do that? You will be compiling good papers, correct? Research papers, recent papers. Then these research papers, you have to divide into several subcategories, subtopics. So the area here is takaful. Takaful literature. Takaful, do you know what is the meaning of takaful? Islamic insurance, not insurance, Islamic insurance. So Islamic insurance has many types of subtopics. One of the subtopic is takaful models. There are many takaful Islamic insurance models. So I am researching in this area. So this is my, and this is the paper which I'm going to read this. And this paper, which method has used mainly library research, no data collection. Sample size is not there because it is library research. Location of the country, author from Pakistan. Okay, so what is the purpose? I'll be writing down. Then, what are the findings of this researcher? Maybe one, maybe more than one. I'll be writing this. This will be in my own language. Because when you write literature review, you cannot copy the sentence because of the plagiarism. You cannot copy, but you have to write in your own sentence. So you write down the findings one by one. It's a good paper. And I feel that what is my personal opinion? Comment on that paper. Maybe I will say, oh, the method is not that strong, or sample size is not enough, whatever. But this is not finding, this is my comment. So I will be writing this. Okay? Then I will move to the another paper. Same thing, purpose, findings, then my comments. And when I finish going through reviewing 10, 20 papers, this template will go maybe 30 pages. I will go through once again these 30 pages, and then I will see what is my findings for the literature review. This is one. Number two, if we follow this, after 5 years, I will follow, if I don't keep this information, 5 years ago, the paper which I read, do you think that you will remember after 5 years? Maybe little bit remember, but most of the things you will forget. That's for sure. But I don't have time to go through again because it's very time consuming. So I will just go through this because findings are there. So in case if you want to refer that paper again, then you can do from here. So I will suggest that you can develop this concept map. Okay, next, methodology. Identify the population. If it is a survey research, we have to identify the population. For mathematics, we don't do usually. Sample, who will be the sample? Unit of analysis. This is another frequently asked question. What is your unit of analysis? Is it organization? Is it individual respondent or group of respondent? Sampling, how the sample will be selected. Again, some quite frequently asked question. How did you collect your data? Probability sampling or non-probability sampling. If it's a quantitative, then we expect that probability sampling. There's also a number of probability sampling. If it is qualitative study, then it could be even non-probability sampling. Okay, so we can do that. Instrument, what type of instrument? Questionnaire will be used. Pre-study, pilot study. Don't forget, especially thesis. For research, it is not that paper, because paper should be very concise. But for thesis, pre-study, and pilot study, wajib. This is a must. We have to do that. Data collection procedure, proposed data analysis based on research questions, hypothesis. We can use multiple regression, structure equation modeling, important performance analysis, ANOVA, analysis of variance, MANOVA, logistic regression, analytical process, cluster analysis, data analysis, etc. So depending upon the objective and the scope, we have to use some of the methods. Avoid using personal pronoun such as I or we. Can, but better to avoid. Better to avoid I, especially I. We still okay, but do not use the word I unless you are very, very high person. Okay. Must be based on research questions, and this is a very important issue. You have to see what is your research objective. Let's say research objective is to find out the effect of change. Find out the effect of change. So what should be your research method or data analysis method. What kind of data you have to find out? See, your objective is to find out the effect of the change of something. That means you have to get the data before putting this change, before and after. Before putting the change, implementing the change, and after implementing the change. So you have two sets of data, simple t-test for two sample test. But if you don't do this, it is a serious mistake in your data analysis. If you apply something different, which will not address your, this is a simple example I am sharing with you. So you have to check your research objective, and then like if you are using analytic hierarchy process, which does not deal with any hypothesis, then you say that my objective is this, and my objective is to investigate between this and that, and you are using AHP, you have gone totally wrong direction. But AHP has nothing to do with relationship development. AHP deals with prioritization of the factors. So if you are having this relations between this and that, then you have to use multiple regression analysis, or better yet, structure equation modeling. So the matching must be correct. The research objective and research method, especially data analysis method which you are using, must match. No question about that. Okay, so this one I will, because it will take long time, I will share the slides so you can check later. Qualitative data analysis. So many times we conduct qualitative research. Qualitative research means basically we collect data through interviews, sometimes focus group discussion. Both are used actually, and both are very good. If you want to get rich set of data, then you can go for both. So how do you analyze then? There is, we have published a number of papers on this. I will share with you some sample. I hope it works. All right. So you see here how this is a long paper. How many pages? 25 pages, published by Emerald. Because most of our papers are published from Emerald. Aliah was my student, and we two are the supervisors. So Emerald, they have very structured abstract, very structured. Now, if you are using qualitative research, if you are doing qualitative research, this is from atlas.ti. That is a software. NVivo, atlas.ti, either one. Both are very good software. So this is the. I want to tell you that if you are qualitative analysis, then you must have some statements like this. Like this. See here? Respondent 13, R13. R13 means respondent, you cannot give the name. So this kind of statements, without changing anything, you have to put in your paper. So that's the way we do the qualitative analysis. Okay, come. Reporting quantitative results. If you are some journals, they will strictly follow APA format. So APA format is there. Okay. See how ANOVA. How do you report ANOVA? How do you report ANOVA? See, this one. The main effect of year in the college was not significant. If 2.33 P is not significant, first, second, third, and fourth year participants did not differ on the reported amounts of alcohol consumed. The main effect of year school was found in satisfaction with life. So this is called APA style reporting. Simple data analysis, simple findings. Okay, go ahead. You know, this is called table in APA style. So you cannot give the grid lines. You know what I mean? The horizontal lines, the vertical lines, cannot. It's just simple table like this. This is the correlation matrix. Correlation matrix should look like this. Even the figure also. APA style, usually we mean the references. No. Reference is definitely there, but in addition to references, we also have, for any paper, for any component, there is the APA guidelines. Discussion, hardest section to write, but it is very important section. I find that this is a bit difficult to write. The results, discussion, all these, even literature review, it's not that difficult, but discussion section, usually students find problem to write because you have to relate your findings and you have to go back to the literature and you have to relate what is the relationship between your findings and the literature. So correlate your findings with existing knowledge. All right, look at here, how it has been related. State your own findings first. State your own findings. It seems that Malaysian workers are not much concerned about the appreciation of their work done compared to the above factors. This is the finding. This is in sharp contrast to their counterparts in the US. So that's the comparison. This is the part of discussion. So your finding and the literature, you have to contrast or you have to match, you have to compare. Conclusion, identify one conclusion, not my lecture, conclusion of the paper. Okay. Identify key findings and application. Conclusion is not a summary. I am sure you know that. Many times they just give the summary, but then reviewer, a conclusion is not your summary. Conclusion is conclusion. What is your conclusion? So that is not summary. Okay, should not be summary of the words I have mentioned. See here how conclusion is written. This one I'm reading for you. This paper presents, I'm reading for you. This paper presents a structured framework for determining the key capabilities using analytic hierarchy process. By the way, analytic hierarchy process is my main research methodology. That's why I use this. This paper presents a structured framework for determining the key capabilities using AHP. That is your contribution. We view our framework as a tool to generate guidelines for strategic decision making, such as capability development or outsourcing non-core capabilities. So your contribution must be highlighted in the conclusion section, so that the reviewers, they know that what is the novel thing in your paper. By the way, I forgot to mention the word novel. You have to show that novelty, there is a novelty in your research paper. Without novelty, especially good journals will not even proceed for reviewing your paper. Acknowledgement, I already mentioned, especially if you have taken a grant from the government, from the company, then again, this is wajib. Wajib means compulsory. It is compulsory for you to acknowledge. If you don't, your funder will not accept this, that this is your output. Actually, I faced this problem. I forgot. So I had to publish another paper, because when paper is published, you cannot change. You cannot go back to the editor, sorry sir, I forgot to put the acknowledgement, can you put? No, this will be, in the first place, you cannot do that. Then you'll be losing your credibility. Second time, they will not entertain you. So don't do that. Okay, so acknowledgement is there. References, I don't think that I need to go there. I'm sure you are familiar with at least few references like APA style or Harvard style, and there are some software. Are you aware about EndNote or Mendeley? So use those, okay? This award, EndNote. Do everything to make your submission a success. No one gets it right the first time. Write and rewrite. Suggestions. After writing a first version, take several days of rest. Take several days of rest. Come back with a critical, fresh view. When you finish writing a paper, of course, you have to communicate, and you're already tired. Let me submit it, and then I can go for good sleep. Wait 2-3 days. After 2-3 days, you come back. You are reviewer your paper. Critical look. Try to find out mistake. Try to find out mistake in your paper. Maybe you can find out. So when you are satisfied, then you can communicate. Okay. Papers that high impact journals publish address a challenging problem whose solution has considerable impact on the discipline. That's why when you select your research topic, at the very first upfront, that your research topic must have contemporary appeal. If you are talking about something which people talked 10 years ago, like industrial relation 4.0, I have heard here. I told them that industry 4.0 people have talked 10 years ago. Why you are talking about now? This is not contemporary. So if you do something research on industry 4.0, I mean you can do, but better not to do, because you have many other areas. For research, you have many other areas. So why limiting is only 1 or 2 topics? So topic should be contemporary, means we need solution for this problem and has recent appeal. Demonstrate consider familiarity, express the problem with mathematical modeling, all this, develop an innovative solution, we all know that. I have already mentioned benchmarking. There is a link also, I'm not going to show that. In your research, you try to find out some good paper, I call benchmarking paper, you can find out, I'm sure you can find out, and try to follow their components, their way of style, their style, the components, sub-components, all this. Okay, having multiple analysis, if your research has multiple analysis, then the probability to get accepted is higher. If you have only one type of analysis, then of course you can do, but try to do for multiple. If you have SPSS file, you can have multiple findings. No, you can have multiple findings. Then you can apply just maybe multiple regression, where the dependent variable is continuous variable. You can also apply logistic regression, where the dependent variable is categorical variable. Same paper. And your probability to get accepted from 0.6, it will jump to 0.9. I have tested all this. So try to apply multiple methods. That's why the mixed method is very popular. And whenever it is possible to apply mixed method, you can try to do it. Covering letter. Now it is all online, but still you will find some space. Write note to the editor. So have a sample covering letter like this, because you have to write something to the editor. Okay, so this one you can read how you can write your covering letter. We are pleased to submit the above quoted paper for a possible publication in your esteemed journal. So journal title, now. The red font. What is this paper all about? You have to tell the editor. This paper deals with developing a new model from Islamic perspective for continuous improvement. Continuous improvement, there are many models in the existing traditional model, but you have done some research from Islamic perspective and you have developed some new model. So editor knows that, what is going on, all right? This model is comprehensive and promises potential applications in Muslim organizations. So what is the benefit of this? You already mentioned this. The language of the paper has been proofread by a professional proofreader, and needless to say, it is not under concurrent submission to any other journal, and the findings have not been published elsewhere. This is a very important ethics. I have never ever done this. When you communicate to one journal, you have to wait until you get the decision. Do not submit to multiple journals. You know why? Very simple reason. What if the first you get the result at the same time? Then you have to decline one journal. You know what would be the feeling of the editor? It will be a very bad feeling, obviously. So don't do that. Okay. And sometime the editor, they ask the reviewers. Upfront you can provide. Whether they use it or not, most of the time the editor will not use your recommended reviewers. Most of the time, but you can do that. In the science, they require 4 reviewers when you submit. Okay, so this is already done. Conference paper. When you have a conference paper, then you want to publish in a journal, you can do so provided you upgrade the paper, conference paper to a journal paper. That means you have to have some, add more to prepare a journal, inform conference organizer. If the conference organizer, they put in the web, in the conference proceeding, then you cannot publish this even in the journal because of the plagiarism case. Because the journal editor or the editorial assistant, firstly, they will check the plagiarism issue. And since it's already in the website of the journal, they will not process. Even though you say, oh, this is my paper, they will not listen to you. So tell them that I'm going to submit to a journal. Please do not publish in the proceeding. That's it. Okay. Difference between thesis and article, I already mentioned that there is a considerable difference. Require considerable amount of time to convert thesis into article. Don't seek easy way out. An article length is 5,000 to 10,000 words, and a thesis can have 75,000 words. No cutting and pasting, rather selecting and rewriting. Substance must be preserved while cutting the extra details. You can narrow down the focus. Do not include definition of terms in the paper. Do not include your theoretical contribution or practical contribution, but include, if it is relevant, managerial implications. Abstract from 350 words to 200 words. Your thesis abstract could be 300 words, 350 words, but paper abstract could be just 200 words. Introduction, including background, be just to the point. No need to put separate heading like RQs, ROs, problem statement that usually we do in the thesis, but paper usually no. LR in a more concise form. Be selective in references. I have examined many PhD theses when I was there. I have seen one thesis from University Malaysia Sarawak, from other Malaysia's 2 parts, West Malaysia and East Malaysia. So one thesis, I got the literature review itself is 150 pages. It's very lengthy. 150 pages literature review is too long. Anyway, but when you are converting into a paper, 150 obviously just 1 or 2 pages. So you see how important it is to keep in mind that point. All right. Remember, reviewers can easily remember. This one I have seen many times. You know, I can find out how careful and how careless you are. See, you have mentioned here chapter 2 in your paper, chapter 2. Somewhere you have mentioned chapter 2. Oh, Chapter 2 is in the thesis. That means you did not edit. I have mentioned this: read, sleep for 3 nights, then come back. If you do that, then this mistake you can easily. And then you mentioned the table number 3.2. Table number 3.2 in the paper, we don't have this. This is in the thesis, chapter 3, table number 2. So these are indicators that you did not take much care to convert your thesis into paper. How many articles from a thesis, especially social science? 1 definitely, sometime 2, sometime 3. For engineering or mathematics, basic science can be 6, 7 papers. I had 6 or 7 papers from my thesis, so there is a difference. Okay, but one thing, if you are writing multiple papers, then your objective would be different, because one objective, one paper cannot be same in the other paper. Secondly, the most important point to be noted here is your literature review. You cannot copy and paste for the second paper. Maybe some of the things common, but you have to rewrite those sentences and something you have to add. You cannot copy and paste. If you copy and paste, and what if the other paper has already been published, then you will be caught again in the plagiarism issue. Okay, all right. Finding the right journal. Finding the right journal, here comes a very, very important issue, that we are already tired, we have spent so much time, I just want to submit. And then I just somehow select one journal, and after few days, we get rejected. Take time. This is a very, very important issue where many times we make mistake. Why the journal rejects the paper? There are a number of reasons I will share with you. Determine how to find out the journal first in good journal. Good journal means journals which come in the index like Scopus or Web of Science, or I should say Web of Science, then Scopus listed journals. Scopus has thousands of journals, and most of the journals are very good, and they have their website, scopus.com. You can go there, anybody can download. This is free. Anybody can download. There are certain services where you cannot access, that one I know, but the basic information from scopus.com you can get freely, and that includes the list of the journals. I have the list, but there is a link also, but I will not go into details, and you know that. Okay, access the website and read the aims and scope. Before you select or finalize your journal, you must be clear about the scope of the journal. Whether your scope, paper, work, the area matches with the journal scope. I have some problem with that. I think I got this problem a number of times. So one journal, one paper I communicated to IMA Journal of Applied Mathematics. They said that there is nothing that scope is in our journal, so they rejected. They rejected not because of the other reason, but because it does not match with the scope. So you have to find out that scope, whether scope is correct or not. Check what type of articles they have published. You open the table of content, TOC, of that particular journal, and you will see what kind of papers they publish. You don't have to read, because the time is limited. You don't have to read, but at least from the title you can see that what kind of papers they have published. And if those papers are in your line, then you can choose that particular journal. You also need to see the journal impact factor. All right, you also need to see journal impact factor. Sometimes if you are a postdoctoral student, or you have some research grant, and the funder, they want you publish in Q1 journal, then you have to publish in Q1 journal. If you publish in Q2 journal, Q3 journal, then you are not fulfilling your contract. Because the contract is, you have to publish in Q1 journal, means first 25% journal, best journals, first 25%. So you have to find out the quartile and the impact factor of that journal. The following problems appear too frequently: submission of papers which are clearly out of scope. Why the papers are rejected? An international editor says, the following problems appear much too frequently: submission of papers which are clearly out of scope, failure to format the paper according to the guide for this. This is another indicator that each paper, each journal has its formatting rule, and you did not follow. Maybe you submitted some other place and you got rejected, and then you just resubmitting. Could be, but don't give this impression. Just spend few hours, mainly the references. Most of the things are same. Mainly the references you have to. But if you are using Mendeley or Nblock, then you don't have to worry. You can just change the option, then it will be automatically done. Standard of English. I personally feel this is one of the most important things. I have reviewed many papers. In fact, I have been doing till now. Almost every month I have to submit one review. Sometimes I get delayed. One of the things I get annoyed that if the language is very, very poor. And of course, after 2-3 months, I did not submit the review, then I cannot reject so I have to go through. But I feel bad if the paper has a very poor English. I think I have some I have some sample, but I think I don't have time to go into details. Then I could have, maybe I can check here whether I can show you or not. Language issue. Okay, so this is the paper I reviewed. See the language, you will see. The research, this research is based on the condition. Look at the sentence. This research is based on the condition of the people's needs of technology and informatics. And the first word is and. You can, but usually no. And the needs of the ease. Needs of the ease in any activities in order improving. What kind of sentence? In order improving the productivity to improve the economy. See, this is the second sentence of the abstract. And I will not go through, there are a lot of like this. So if you have abstract like this, do you think that the reviewer will accept your paper? Just because of English, they will reject. Just because of English. No matter how good the results are, all this, because this is not publishable. A good journal cannot publish this, and some of the languages you cannot repair. You have to rewrite. Okay. Why is the language important? See, one editor says this. This paper fell well below my threshold. This is the editor comment. I refuse to spend time trying to understand what the author is trying to say. Besides, I really want to send a message that they can't submit garbage to us and expect us to fix it. My rule of thumb is that if there are more than 6 is already high number, 6 grammatical errors in the abstract, then I don't waste my time carefully reading the rest. That means rejected. Okay. This is the IMA Journal of Management Mathematics. What I was just saying this, it's mentioned here. Okay, so this is actually not the PDF file. It's mentioned here the language and presentation must be of high quality. Where they are not, when they are not, manuscript will be rejected regardless of the value of their scientific context. That means the language and presentation style must be very high. If the language and presentation is not good, they will not look into the other things. This is the editor comment. Okay, key, write with clarity. I think this is good. Sentence construction, write direct and short sentences. Sometimes students, they want to write very complicated sentences. I think you students should not write too complicated sentences. Just write a simple sentence. And then if you want, you can combine compound sentence, complex sentence later on. Simple sentences are beautiful sentences. You can convey your message very clearly. I'm not telling that you cannot use very sophisticated. You can use, but what is your motive? Your motive is to present your findings, your ideas. So I think simple sentence, if the language is simple, is good. That people understand you. All right? So nothing wrong there. One idea or piece of information per sentence is sufficient. Avoid multiple statements, ideas in putting in one sentence. I think you already know, because this is just a English issue, that you can use like this. Instead of consider the amount of time, then it's much on account of, you write because it's more precise. Manuscript language, present tense for known facts and hypotheses. When you use present tense, then past tense, you have to know. In the paper, sometimes you have to use, but not future tense. This is a mistake. Students sometimes they forget. When they write proposal, of course they will write, it will be done, but it will be communicated. But they forgot to change. Still in the paper, on the final thesis, still it will be done. Still it will be done. How it will be already done? So you have to mention it has been done, or these were done. So you have to change from future tense to past tense and sometimes present tense. Okay? Picture. So getting a paper published from a good journal, there are a lot of people are waiting for you. Okay? But don't get worried. If you have a good paper, they will like it. No, I'm not discouraging you. But there are some people, they will read your paper, they will give your comments. If they are satisfied, then they will accept. Don't worry. After submission, what happens? After submission, there are three things happen. If you are very, very lucky that your paper is accepted as it is, which is very rare. Desk reject, which is very common, especially top class journals. Top class journal, they reject that does not mean that your paper is of poor quality, no, because their submission rate is very, very high. And they cannot process all the papers. That's why they have to reject. But your paper is still good, but it is not that good which they require. So that's why it happens, desk rejection. Okay, done. Three scenarios. Outright rejection, that is desk rejection. Also, not outright rejection can be also after going through the review process, because both the reviewers reject. So that is also, if both the reviewers reject, editor cannot accept, cannot help you. Maybe edit your friend, but still they have to be professional. So they will politely reject your paper, and you will not mind, because both the reviewers have rejected, so you should not mind. Secondly, major corrections. Major corrections, there is still some hope. There is a good chance of hope. In fact, major revision, minor revision, all are very subjective. Depends upon the people. Some people minor, they say major. Some people major, they say minor. So don't worry about much. It's just some corrections are necessary. Editor has given you a chance to revise. Forget about whether it's a minor or major. It will be accepted most of the time. So must be in polite in response. I will share my own students' case here. We submitted one paper, and the editor comment was, is the Sharia a revealed text? That was the comment from the editor, not the reviewer. Okay, so my student, I told him, you write first. So he started this. There is nowhere in the paper it is mentioned that Sharia is a revealed text. I think this is a very sentence which people don't want to read. He has already mentioned this That means he has found somewhere, and you directly hit the person. That means you are hitting the editor. Very dangerous. You are hitting the editor by saying that nowhere it is found. So I told him that don't write this. I just polish this. We fully agree that Sharia is not a revealed text. Sharia is a Sharia. It's a guidelines, maqasid. Quran is a revealed text. Sharia and Quran are not synonymous. They are different. Okay? So we fully agree that Sharia is not a revealed text. We have been careful in using the terminologies throughout the paper. You may kindly see the page. So tone has been much down. So then editor knows that something has been revised. Okay? Go ahead. All right. Then common reasons for rejection. This study is just confirmation of previous research that is not novel. The problem tackled is too shallow. Poor experimental design, targeted journal is not suitable, weak writing and presentation and language. Minor correction, consider paper almost accepted. Follow the comments closely and don't argue with the reviewers unnecessarily. It should never be done. If you argue with the reviewers, it is a very dangerous, very, very dangerous. So don't never do that. Do the revisions within the time allocated. They will give you some time, 1 week, 2 weeks. If you need more time, you can ask. They will be happy to give you. But if you are not asking the extension and then you are submitting late, it's not something good. They may not accept, they may not entertain. Even some, like say Emerald journals, they say that when you cannot submit, your paper will be considered as a new submission. They mention in their policy. Prepare a detailed response letter. When you get reviewer's report, then you have to reply. How you reply? This is one sample. It can be done in both ways, either in a tabular format like this, or you can write in a paragraph format. I use both. So in the tabular format means you need to put the reviewer referee's comment here, and this is your reply. This is your reply, and you mentioned that see the page number 8, or please see the page number 8, like that. Okay, so this is the template I'm sharing with you. And what should be the look of your revised paper? You have to highlight. When you have change, the reviewer wants to see the change first. He or she may not have time to go through the entire paper. Of course, they will go through. Most of the time, they will go through. I go through when I give my comments, and but sometimes we also need to check the change the amended portions. So you have to highlight like this. All right, don't forget. You have to highlight like this. So this is your revised paper. Even in thesis also, when you correct the thesis, so you have to do that. So the reviewers, they know that you have done. Okay, this is your initial paper, and this is your revised paper. All right? So a lot of improvement. That's the message. There's a lot of improvement. What leads to acceptance? A means attention to details. C, check and double check your work. Check and double check. C, consider the reviewer's comments. English must be as good as possible. Presentation is important. Take your time with revision. Acknowledge those who have helped you. New, original, and previously unpublished. Critically evaluate your own manuscript. Ethical rules must be obeyed. I have another 10 minutes. Okay, predatory journal. This is a very, very, our valedictory session will start at 4:15 because I started late. So This is another important issue, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen. Many people are doing many kinds of bad business in the publication area because internet nobody controls. You have your web page, you can launch a journal, and you can get paper from all over the world. You can get money and you publish anything. So be careful because you have put a lot of hard work. The journal must be credible journal. There are some guidelines. I'm not going to details because I don't have time. One thing that it will be very clear, the scope of the journal, they will say Journal of Humanities, Law, Science, Engineering, Medicine. What kind of journal it is? That means they want to get as many papers as possible. Secondly, they will promise you your paper will be published in 15 days. This is a very 3 days. So that itself indicates that this is not a credible journal. A good journal, the process takes at least 3 months. And then they go. 3 months is minimum. So these are some of they will say impact factor 6.7, my goodness. 6. Do you know the meaning of the impact factor 6.7? How can you claim that your impact factor is 6.7? So these are the things which the indicators. I consider, even in Aliah University, I'm telling, if anybody publishes this kind of journal, this paper will not be counted. This paper will not be counted. Paper must be having a credible source. I'm not talking about you have to publish 5 papers. No, you publish 1 paper in a year, but publish in a good journal. Then we can establish Aliah's name. 5 papers, nobody acknowledges, nobody reads. What is this? So we have to, I'm not telling that this is done here, but it should not be done here. Please don't misunderstand because I have not embarked onto reviewing all this. But this is my philosophy I have some principle I follow in my life. I don't compromise with ethics and quality. Ethics in publishing, plagiarism, I think there was some talk, the plagiarism, and I think everybody knows plagiarism. Duplicate publication, never ever, it is beyond question. Duplicate submission, I have already mentioned. Publication of data, obviously very, very unethical practice. No proper acknowledgement of the people who have helped you. So we have to acknowledge. Impact factor of the journal, how the impact factor is calculated? Very simple. That total number of citation is 2024. In that from that particular journal, count citation that published in 2022, 2023. 2022, 2023, maybe they have published 60 papers. So in all these 60 papers, what is the total number of citations? If it's a Scopus listed journal, then they consider only Scopus listed because the citation indexing that also varies from Google Scholar citation, Google Scholar the Scopus H index and Scopus index, they are very different. And number of articles published is 2022 and 2023, that's called B. So the journal impact factor is A by B, very simple arithmetic. So we can calculate that. We all know that Nature, Science, Lancet, these are top class journals, they are very high. H index, I don't think that I need to go through. Maybe some other time we can discuss that, but it's a very, very simple thing, H index. If your H index is very high, yesterday one of our earlier researchers from some department, the person came to me and I wanted to give some task, then he declined. He said that, sir, don't give this because I want to do research. So if you give this responsibility, my research will be. I felt very happy to know that. The person declined, but I felt very happy because he has his spirit in the research. And the person H index is close to 30. Which is a very good. So from H index, we can come to know how good the researcher is, especially Scopus H index. Okay, so scopus.com, we can see the journal list. As I said, most of them, because the manager is Elsevier. Elsevier is a very reputed publisher. So most of the journals are good journals. And also we can see the journal ranking. There is a website that schemagogr.com. If you go there, put the journal name, you will get the ranking or the status of that particular journal. This is my last slide, list of WS journal, but they keep on changing, I have seen. So when I prepared my slides, this was the website. So you go there, then they categorize social science, engineering, then law, architecture, humanities. They have separate lists. And these journals are the best journals. So WS journals are the best journals. That's why very difficult to penetrate. But if you can get published in some papers to these journals, this is excellent, outstanding achievement. So with this, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, I finish here. I wish you all the best. I don't know whether is there any time for question and answer, organizer? Then the valedictory will be delayed further. Any question? At least maybe one or two questions, just to complete the session. One or two questions? Yes. But one or two questions? No? Everything clear?
Yasir Arafat this side from the Department of Geography of this university.
Okay.
Thank you so much, sir. First of all, thank you so much, sir, for your excellent presentation. You have already explaining each and everything from how we select a reputed journal for publishing our manuscript from initial phase to the ending phase. I have three questions. First, you have already mentioned about for selecting the title, you have already mentioned that for the selection of the title, word limit must be within 20 words. And many of the articles, they have already mentioned in many art titles. For example, we are from Geography Department, and many research are based on our methodology based, for example, GIS based technology or Google Earth Engine. So can I include the methodology section or some word in our title section? Say, for example, analysis of the air pollution with the help of Google Earth Engine or GIS based technology. First question. Second question is that.
Okay, one by one.
Okay, sir.
So the 20 words is the maximum. Look at the Statesman, Daily Statesman, go to page 4 or 5. You will find some essays, right? Statesman, I read Statesman, I guess my office they get. 2 words. Am I right?
Yes,
2 words or 3 words. Editor, they don't accept more than 2 words. This is I'm talking about the newspaper. For journal paper, 20 is already high number. So you have to come down to maybe 15. So that is the part how artistic you are. You are touching upon your main variables, the method, finding you don't have to give. So what actually you have done, which represents, the title represents the work. So I strongly feel that within 15 words, and I have also mentioned that you can get the help of ChatGPT. They can give you very fantastic articles. The title of the articles. 20 is already high. Don't go more than 20. It is possible. That's my response.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
And second question is that in abstract, you have mentioned that statement of the problem should be in introduction section and intake citation. There is no need in abstract section. But something I have already calculated some findings. Can I incorporate it abstract section?
Yes, I mentioned abstract should have your first introductory statement I have mentioned, followed by objective. That's why the emerald, I mentioned emerald, they have structure. So they have one section is the purpose, then the methodology, then the findings, then the value of the paper, implications of the findings, all should be there. Whether it's in the structured format or in a paragraph format, it is possible. I have seen that. Let's say I have my initial abstract is 250 words, and I submitted some journal. Unfortunately, the paper has been rejected. Now I am thinking about another journal which has the word limit 150, and it is online, meaning that if you use 150 words, you cannot submit because the cursor will not proceed further than the next page. I'm sure you know all these problems. So you have to come down to 150, and I believe it is possible. I believe it is possible. If it is not, if you have difficulty, you ask some friends, maybe English professor, they will help you. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Yeah. And last question is that, sir, what is the difference between conceptual framework and conceptual map? I understood about the conceptual framework, but how I distinguish the conceptual map from conceptual framework?
This is a very, this conceptual framework is a publicized standard terminology. So conceptual framework means, the framework which I have shown, independent variable, dependent variable, if there is a mediator, mediator is not compulsory. If mediator, moderator, also not compulsory. That is called conceptual framework. So it is very standard terminology, you cannot change. The concept map, this one is just some kind of rough terminology which I use. I did not use this one, I have seen someone use it. This one is that you are going from one level to another level, from that level to another level. That one we have called conceptual map. But this terminology, you don't have to worry, you can give any terminology. But conceptual framework, you have to stick that particular terminology. All right?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Sir, last one request is that...
You have already 3 questions.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Because he mentioned 3 questions. Yeah.
Sir, I'm a scholar from Department of Education under Dr. Reshma ma'am. Sir, you showed a paper, and at the end of that statement, you mentioned R13. You were so quick, I could not grab it. It was respondent 13 or reference 13?
No, respondent.
Respondent 13.
Respondent. R stands for many things.
Yes,
right?
that's why I got
R stands for also Rafiqul. So here R stands for respondent. You cannot give the name. In your paper, you can mention the respondent 1, the general manager, respondent 2, the senior manager or director or whoever is. So that respondent 13 is that one. Respondent R13 means respondent, not the reference 13.
Mainly
right?
used in qualitative research.
Qualitative research. Qualitative research.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir, I have a question.
Okay.
Actually, that difficulty I faced recently, and because of that, I am asking the question.
Okay.
Let's say in a research scholar has published a paper which is part of his thesis.
Okay.
Now the thesis is being presented.
Okay.
And he is referring himself the paper which is part of thesis already published, and in the PhD thesis he is referring that one. So how far it is ethical?
Better to, that's why in Islam, better to avoid something which is doubtful. So I will say that if it is, if you find that it's debatable, bitorkito, then better, whether it's right or wrong, that's a different thing. If it is a debatable thing, better. So reference is a PhD student, you have published from your thesis, excellent, outstanding, there is no problem with that. But when you are presenting your thesis, you can say that, proudly you can say that from this research, I have published 2 papers or 3 papers or 1 paper, but it is not, does not look nice, you are referring yourself. Rather, you should be happy let's say I'm a lecturer. Can I say I'm a good lecturer?
No.
Huh?
Other people will say.
Other people, I cannot say I am a good lecturer. When other people say I am a good lecturer, then I am a good lecturer. So wait, let the other people cite your work. So it does not look nice that you refer your own paper. All right? I hope I have answered the question.
Yes, yes.
How much time we have?
Okay, I think.
I think we are now going for valedictory session.
Purvo. Sir, can I ask the question?
Maybe this is the last one.
Sir, good afternoon. This is
Oh.
Usha Mallik from Nursing Department.
All right.
As you showed, sir, in one of the slides that the table can be started first and figures, and finally we can come to the conclusions of the title.
Yes.
So my very simple question is that without knowing the proper things or the methodology, purpose and everything, how one reviewer, if somebody is reviewing my paper, how he or she will be able to understand whether my tables and graphs whatsoever, it is really relevant to my titles or not?
No, it is, I think there is some issue which I need to clarify. You have everything. You have your information about the introduction, you have the findings, right? You have done some experiment, you have done collected some data, you have analyzed, you have the result from SPSS, from R, from AMOS or from Smart PLS. Your results are there. Now you have to write the paper. So what should be the starting point of your paper? So the Elsevier, this is not from me. This from Elsevier, the expert, they suggest that you should start the one which is something you can easily do. Like my student was telling, sir, my hands is not actually moving. So how to move this? So I said that you just try. So you can start with the explanation, the findings which you have got from the test, from the statistical test, because this will be part of your paper. Like say one section will be result section.
Yes, sir.
So the result section you prepare, then you go to methodology. It's already there. You know what methodology you have utilized to conduct your study. So you write that. Then you go to the literature review, but there is no hard and fast rule. I have already mentioned that if you are comfortable to start with writing introduction, you do that. Then literature review, as it is in the paper, you can do that. But some experts say that you can also change the sequence of developing the component of the paper. So if you are not sure what to write introduction, then better you start where you will be more comfortable, like the results, the tables, illustration. So that's why you can start from there. All right? Thank you. I think I am done because the time is very limited, and I started late. Because if we go on, then our validity session will be much delayed, and I don't want to do that. Maybe in future, if we have some other opportunity, then we can be taken. Thank you very much for your attention. So, where should I sit? Should I go down?
বাংলায় একটা কথা আছে, যার শেষ ভালো তার সব ভালো। হ্যাঁ, আমি উল্টোটা ইচ্ছা করেই বললাম, আমি উল্টোটা বললাম, কারণ আমাদের হচ্ছে প্রোগ্রামটা, আশা করছি এই 5 দিনের ওয়ার্কশপ ভালোই গেছে। We all can agree in unison that the 5-day workshop
conducted by the Department of Education, Aliah University, has been indeed a resounding success. From all the sessions, the budding scholars we had amidst us, I think they have all had great takeaways, be it on data analysis, be it on different methods of research, quantitative, qualitative, mixed method. We have had very enlightening session. And in the end today, I think our very honorable VC sir has given it a beautiful conclusion. We are thankful to all the dignitaries present, and among them we do have number of speakers who have spoken on different days of the sessions. So we are not just thankful to our speakers, but the audience who have been extremely patient and have been very supportive. So this is a call of gratitude. Thanks to everyone present in the auditorium today. And with that, we will begin the ending of the session. So first of all, we will start with mild felicitations. We will begin with calling our honorable VC sir again on stage. Our students will felicitate you yet again. A mild token of love from our end. So everyone, please put a huge round of applause for Professor Rafiqul Islam, our Honorable Vice Chancellor. Next, I would like to call on stage Mr. Abid Hussain, Director of Madrasa Education, Government of West Bengal. Sir, if you could please come on stage, our students would felicitate you. Next, we have amidst us Ahmed Hassan Imran, former MP, Chairman, Minority Commission, Government of West Bengal. Sir, we would request you to come on stage. And it will be followed by felicitation by our students. The first session of the day was Professor Baharul Islam, and we are lucky that we still have him in our valedictory session. So, sir, we would again request you to please come on stage. And another round of felicitation will be conducted. I think we all can agree that Baharul Islam sir's session was indeed very interesting and entertaining. And he said a very interesting, or rather he pointed out to a very interesting thing in his session, which is universal. Change is the only constant. So we should be evolving with time. Sir, if I can make a note on the session you had, there is a theory in English literature on Orientalism where one talks about adopt, adapt, and adapt. I think your session was grounded on that, and we learned a lot on that. Thank you so much, sir. Next, we would like to call on stage our Deputy Registrar, Aliah University, Dr. S.K. Ashfaq Ali. Sir, we would request you to come on stage. Please put a huge round of applause for Dr. Ashfaq Ali, the Registrar. And along that, I would also like to call the faculty, Dean of our Faculty of Humanities and Languages, Professor Dr. Shormishta Chatterjee. Ma'am, please, we would like to call you on stage. And Dean of Faculty of Science and Technology, Professor Nargis Ahmed. Ma'am, we would also request you to come and grace the stage. With all the guests seated on the stage, we would now begin our valedictory session. And the beginning of our valedictory session will be by a welcome note by our very own Professor and Head of Department of Education, Dr. Zakir Hussain Laskar. Sir, I would request you to begin the valedictory session. Please put a huge round of applause for our Professor and Head of Department of Education, Zakir Hussain Laskar.
Assalamu alaikum, adab, a very good afternoon to each and everyone. On behalf of Department of Education, Aliah University, I would like to welcome to the concluding session of the 5 days national workshop on multidisciplinary research methodology organized by the Department of Education, Aliah University. It gives me immense pleasure to stand before you on this final day of our workshop to celebrate what has been an extraordinary journey of learning, collaboration, and innovation. Today, as we gather here to formally conclude this enriching academic journey, it is very honored to extend a heartfelt welcome to our esteemed dignitaries, Sir Professor Rafiqul Islam, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Aliah University, Chief Patron of this 5 days national workshop on research methodology, who will deliver the valedictory speech and share his vision for future research endeavors. I would like to welcome to Janab Abid Hussain, Director of Madrasa Education, Government of West Bengal. Thank you, sir, for your kind presence, and really your presence will encourage all the concerned. I would like to welcome to Janab Ahmad Hassan Imran Saheb, former MP, Chairman Minority Commission, Government of West Bengal. It is pleasure to have you with us. You always support us, encourage us. Really thankful, sir. I would like to welcome to our esteemed guest, Professor Dr. Baharul Islam, sir, Director, IMT Hyderabad. We are grateful for your valued presence in our university and your valued contribution. Really, we are very much thankful, sir. I would like to welcome to our Deputy Registrar, Sir Dr. Ashfaq Ali. Thank you, sir, for your constant support for us. I would like to welcome to our Madam Professor Dr. Sharmishta Chatterjee, Dean Faculty of Humanities and Languages of Aliah University. Really, Madam, your academic support and leadership has been an inspiration for us. Then I'd like to welcome Professor Dr. Nargis Ahmed, Dean Faculty of Science and Technology of Aliah University. Thank you, ma'am, for being with us in this afternoon session. I wish to extend heartful welcome to the administrative staffs, students, volunteers, whose behind the scene efforts from logistical coordination to technical support. I welcome to all the participants, research scholars, faculties of Aliah universities, faculties of other universities, and my colleagues and respected head of the department of our sister department of Aliah University. Respected all, we have observed each day has been marked by spirited discussions, rigorous workshops, and the forging of new intellectual partnerships. I hope you will leave not only with a deeper methodological toolkit, but also with fresh perspective inspired by our most respected colleagues from diverse fields. We sincerely hope that the learnings you take away from this workshop of 5 days will enrich your future academic and professional journey. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, and thank you to all the guests present out here. Now, in this valedictory session, I must say that in this auditorium, just few months ago, we have asked that we research scholar need some kind of workshop and seminar for the development of the researchers. And our VC sir, he promised that definitely there will be this kind of workshops and seminar. And really, today is the result of that we can see. It's just a step forward. So on this special occasion, after hopefully successfully conducting this 5 days workshop, without sir's speech, this valedictory session will be incomplete. So I would request sir, please sir, and give this valedictory speech. Please, a round of applause once again for sir.
I think this is not fair because the valedictory speech I have already given. That was the name of the valedictory speech, right? This is the second valedictory speech. This is not valedictory speech. Can someone? Yeah, this one. I think it's okay without this. Oh, this is negative. All right. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. As-salatu was-salam ala ashrafil anbiya wal-mursalin wa ala alihi ashabi ajma'in. First of all, we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving us this opportunity to conduct this 5-day workshop. And this is the final day. My respected distinguished guest sitting here, my esteemed colleagues, faculty members, the HOD of the Education Department, Dr. Zakir Hussain Lashkar, participants, students, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and very good afternoon. First of all, I would like to, after thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I would like to thank the organizers, especially the HOD of Education Department. It is very clear that how hardworking he is, in how much trouble he has taken to organize this workshop. So let's give him a round of applause for his contribution, and also thank to his hardworking team members, because without team support, it is very difficult. It will be impossible to organize this kind of workshop. So thanks to all of them. I'd also like to thank the guests who, despite their busy schedule, who have graced this occasion. So thank you very much, all of you, for coming to Aliah University. And also I would like to thank the resource people who have spent their valuable time to share the expertise with our beloved students. And I must say that this is not the end, this is the beginning of your workshop journey. There will be a lot of workshops, but some of the workshop maybe you have to propose, because what are your needs, your demands? It should be bottom up. It should not be top down. So you come forward, as you have said that you have given us to organize research workshop, but the research workshop can be many topics. As I mentioned, even it can be one-day research workshop for just literature review, and that will be more beneficial, because this 1 hour, 2 hours, just like this, how to publish, I have been very fast. You have seen that. I could not even touch upon some of the slides, because it needs more time. Then I can go into more details, and I can, if I take you to the laboratory, then I can ask you, can you find out 10 good papers in your research area? And if the laboratory is there, the database is there, that is the hands-on practice, and we have to do that. Similarly, for data analysis, regardless of your area, engineering, you have MATLAB, mathematics, you have MATLAB, some other software available. For social science, we have SPSS, we have for economics, we have eViews, and for geography or architecture, you have GIS. There are a lot of software, and our students need to skill. This is a world which we require skills. If we are skilled, and I always say that, I studied when I was taken by Professor Kamaruzzaman for the field. I have told him that if we are skilled, we will get a job, inshallah. But maybe sometime we have to wait. So condition is that we have to be skilled. And this is the way, this is one of the ways that we can develop, we can have advanced knowledge, and because every day something is coming out. So we have to get abreast about this new knowledge through workshops, through seminars, not only workshops, seminars also, similarly seminar. Seminar can be online, seminar can be face-to-face. Even we can invite some renowned professor from United States of America. I have many friends. Then in UK, in Germany, in my own area, of course. In my own area, I have many friends. So, but if I invite physically, then of course it will be very expensive. So we can have some seminar. They will share with you very good ideas which may be helpful. So you come forward, you tell us what kind of workshop, what kind of seminar we need. Our financial resource is always limited. Financial resource is always limited in every country. So this, within this financial constraint, let us see whether we can have some honorarium, token of honorarium or traveling. If we can, we will be pleased to do so. So we will keep on doing this. And this workshop is one of the efforts which we have done. Inshallah, in future, we'll be keep on doing this. And this workshop, we will consider that our labor is fruitful only when that you think that you have got benefits and you can apply this knowledge, these new skills. You have to apply. If you just learn, if you do not apply, then there is no meaning of this knowledge. So we have to get the knowledge, then as soon as possible, or wherever there is a possibility that we have to apply this knowledge. If we apply this knowledge, then our understanding, our knowledge is more solid. But if we just know and don't apply, after some days we will forget. So we try to have this knowledge, we try to apply, and if you feel that this workshop, 5-day workshop, has been very helpful and we have learned something, then our labor is deemed to be successful. Wabillahi tawfiq al-hidayah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Correctly, our Honorable VC Sir correctly mentioned that it will be successful indeed when all the learning will be implemented. So we do believe that in Aliah we would excel. And when do we excel? When we get the correct kind of blessings. So now I would request Mr. Abid Hussain, Director of Madrasa Education, Government of West Bengal, to please come and bless us, direct the scholars in the right direction. So please put a huge round of applause for Mr. Abid Hussain.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. A very good afternoon. Namaskar. First of all, I would like to thank Aliah University, Department of Education, for giving me an opportunity to be before you, all of you, and put forward some of my ideas which I have gathered over the years working with Education Department. Our esteemed guests, eminent scholars are there on the stage. Surely they have more broader perspective, very wide experience, huge knowledge, and of course implementation of the knowledge as well. I am too humble to speak in front of them, but having worked with children from classes 5 to 12, whatever I have felt, I would like to share with you. Since the last 35 years, I have worked with school children. First as a teacher, then working in the department as a civil servant, and for the last 10 years or 11 years as Director of Madrasa Education. I have felt that education is changing, widely it's changing rapidly. When I was in the Department of Education in Calcutta University, erstwhile Calcutta University, presently now it is a deemed university, St. Xavier's College, I was in the education department there. Way back in 1989-90, it was some theory papers, some class teaching, practice teaching, and then we got a degree and then we had a teacher's job. But nowadays, if you go and just give a lecture in the school or in the classroom, the student is not interested. The student is not interested to listen to your lecture. That's why you will see, if those who are working teachers, or even in colleges we have seen, or in schools also, the students are not attending schools. We have to try as educators or as educationists, we have to try to find out why are they not coming. There are maybe many reasons. One of the reasons is, of course, social media, Google, YouTube, etc., etc., etc. All the information is there. So they don't want information now. Information is already there, floating in the cloud. What they want is practical knowledge. How can you skill them? As our Honorable Vice Chancellor was saying, that if you have the skill, then you always land have a job, not one job, you may have many jobs. If you try to find out, search for a very good cook, you will not get. He will charge a huge amount of money. If you open a restaurant, biryani बनाने वाला खोजो, नहीं मिलेगा. मिलेगा तो बोलेगा 2 लाख लूंगा. If you try to find out a good electrician, he will say, okay sir, आएंगे 7 दिन बाद, अभी बहुत काम है. If you try to find out a car mechanic, बोलेगा सर 7 दिन बाद गाड़ी रख के जाइए, 7 दिन बाद आइएगा, बहुत काम है. But if you try to find out a clerk, just a plain graduate clerk, if you advertise for one post, there are 1,000 applicants because they have not been skilled. So what's important nowadays is to try to inculcate the habit of building skills. The skill may be communication skill. A good communicator is an asset to any organization. Anyone who can speak nicely is a good communicator. Now we have corporate communicators. Corporate world keeps communication experts. Our friend Nasir is a communicator in United Nations. He just lives in Topsia or Park Circus. He's in the So what we need is good skill. Whenever you go out in the world for your professional work, try to develop as many skills as possible. Nowadays, we are having huge amount of online courses where you can develop your skills. Udemy, Coursera, all these are there conducting short-term courses. During the COVID, I completed 10 certificate courses from Harvard University, from any other universities also. I never heard of a word design thinking, and then I did a course on it. Design thinking, how do you think according to a design? So these are the things that help you in your professional life, because the more you skilled you are, the more value you add to your professional life. So all these educationists who will go out into the world, some will maybe school teachers, some will go to the colleges to teach, some will do research, but whatever you do develop your skill in that particular field. And one more thing is that in the present day world, nothing is in isolation. Previously, if someone was studying history, he was studying only history. But now what you read is oceanic history of the oceans. Never heard of it. So everything is multidisciplinary now. And we are having courses in liberal arts. You study history and then you study physics also. If you are interested, you can study history and you can study physics also. So the world is changing. We cannot, as someone was saying, that change is the only constant. Yes, of course, change is the only constant that happens. Every day it is changing, the knowledge is changing, the approach to knowledge is changing, skill is changing, and we have to develop into the world. To quote Yuval Noah Harari, read his book, 21 Stories of the 21st Century. How will the world look like in 2050? Just 25 years hence, the world will be immensely changed. We may not need doctors, but we will need nurses. We may not need just giving information to students, but we will need facilitators in education. There will be no teachers. Teachers are just giving information in the classroom. Information is not required. It is there in the Google. What you need is facilitator. How to help him, the student, especially in the school children, how to help him or her in developing his or her skills. I won't take much of your time. Thank you for giving me a patient hearing, and thank you once again for the Department of Education for giving me an opportunity to speak in front of you. Thank you very much. Akhira dawana.
Thank you so much, sir, for placing us and to all the participants. Now, with us, Ahmed Hassan Imran, sir, is present. So I would like to request sir to come and say a few words to the participants and all the research scholars.
All praise to Allah, who is the creator of this universe, and Darud and Salam to his Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who is the guide of the mankind. As a change, I want to speak a few words in Bengali, if audience and the dais agrees, because Bengali also a rich language like English and Urdu. আপনারা জানেন যে একটা সময় ছিল যে অ্যারাবিক সারা ওয়ার্ল্ডের ভাষা ছিল। অ্যারাবিক ভাষা ছিল রিসার্চ, ভাষা ছিল এডুকেশনের, ভাষা ছিল নলেজের। একটা সময় ছিল এখানে, সেই সময় চলে গেছে। এখন ইংরেজি সেই জায়গাটি দখল করেছে। তো আমি ক্যামব্রিজ হিস্ট্রি অফ ইসলাম পড়ছিলাম, তো সেখানে আছে যে একটা সময় ছিল যে সবাই পড়তে যেত স্পেনের যে মুসলিম বিশ্ববিদ্যালয়গুলো ছিল, কর্ডোবা আর অন্য অন্য জায়গায়, এবং সেখানে ছাত্র আসতো সব জায়গা থেকে, ইউরোপ থেকে, পৃথিবীর অন্য অন্য কোণ থেকে ছাত্ররা সেখানে পড়তে আসতো, জ্ঞান অর্জনের জন্য আসতো, রিসার্চ করার জন্য আসতো। তো ইংল্যান্ডের একজন কার্ডিনাল কিংবা আরও কোনো বড় পোস্ট চার্চের, তিনি দুঃখ করে অন্য একজন কার্ডিনালকে লিখেছিলেন যে আমি তো দেখতে পাচ্ছি আমাদের ছেলেমেয়েরা তারা স্পেনে গিয়ে পড়াশুনো করছে, ইসলামিক স্পেন অফকোর্স, অ্যান্ড তারা আরবিতেই লেখাপড়া করছে, আরবিতে চিঠি লিখছে। তিনি দুঃখ করে বললেন যে তারা আরবিতে স্বপ্ন দেখে আমার মনে হয়, এবং প্রেমপত্র লেখে আরবিতে। এই দুঃখ কোথায় রাখবো? অর্থাৎ ল্যাটিন বা সে সময় যে ভাষা প্রচলিত ছিল তার চর্চা কেউ করে না, এই ধরনের একটা দুঃখ ছিল। তো সেই জায়গাটা অ্যারাবিক আস্তে আস্তে আবার উঠে আসছে। আপনাদের এখানেও অ্যারাবিকের চর্চা হচ্ছে আলিয়া বিশ্ববিদ্যালয়ে, এবং আমি আশা রাখবো যে আমাদের বাংলা, অ্যারাবিক, আমাদের ভারতবর্ষ যে বৈচিত্র্যের কথা রাখে, বিভিন্ন ভাষা তাতে ডেভেলপ করবে। আমি আরও যে দুইটার কথা আপনাদেরকে বলতে চাই, যে রিসার্চ, আমাদের মাননীয় জাকির সাহেব এইচওডি, এবং আপনাদের সৌভাগ্য এবং আমাদের সৌভাগ্য, আমরা আলিয়া বিশ্ববিদ্যালয়ের উপাচার্য হিসাবে একজনকে পেয়েছি, ডক্টর রফিকুল সাহেব, ইসলাম সাহেব। তিনি আমাদেরই ভূমিপুত্র, কিন্তু বিদেশেই তার অনেকটা সময় কেটেছে, এবং তিনি এসব বিষয়ে সিদ্ধহস্ত যে আলিয়াকে তিনি পরিচালনা করে আরও উচ্চতর ক্ষেত্রে নিয়ে যাবেন। আলিয়া কিন্তু ইতিমধ্যেই আপনারা জানেন খুব ভালো করছে। আমি দুদিন আগে কলম পত্রিকায় পড়লাম, আমারই পত্রিকা, আমাকেও পড়তে হয় মাঝে মধ্যে, যে এখান থেকে রিসার্চ করে কয়েকদিন আগে একজন ছেলে, আলিয়ার একজন ছেলে একটা অফার পেয়েছে ফ্রান্সে, এবং সে বছরে 40,000 ইউরো করে পাবে। ছেলেটি শিলিগুড়ির, এবং ছেলেটি ধর্মে একজন হিন্দু। আমি গর্বিত যে আমাদের আলিয়া, কারণ যারা আলিয়া মাদ্রাসার জন্য কাজ করেছিল তার মধ্যে আমিও ছিলাম, আন্দোলন করেছিলাম, পুলিশের লাঠিও খেয়েছি, তখন আলিয়া মাদ্রাসা ছিল। তো আমার ভালো লাগছে যে আমাদের মেয়েরাও এই রিসার্চে আছে, ইংল্যান্ডে আছে, এই আলিয়া বিশ্ববিদ্যালয় থেকে, বা অন্য অন্য জায়গাও আছে। তো কাজেই রিসার্চের ক্ষেত্রে আলিয়া বিশ্ববিদ্যালয় ইতিমধ্যেই একটা নাম করেছে আমাদের ভারতে এবং বিশ্বেও। তাই তো বিশ্বের বড় বড় ইউনিভার্সিটিগুলিতে রিসার্চ করার জন্য আমাদের ছেলেরা জায়গা পাচ্ছে, মেয়েরা জায়গা পাচ্ছে। আমি আশা করব ডক্টর রফিকুল ইসলামের নেতৃত্বে আলিয়ার বিভিন্ন বিভাগ এক্ষেত্রে আরও এগিয়ে যাবে, এবং আপনারা আমাদের মুখ উজ্জ্বল করবেন। আলিয়ার গঠিত হয়েছিল বামফ্রন্ট আমলে, বিল পাস হয়েছিল, কিন্তু এর পরিকাঠামো নির্মিত হয়েছে আমাদের মাননীয় মুখ্যমন্ত্রী মমতা ব্যানার্জির সময়, এবং তিনি আলিয়া সম্বন্ধে খুবই আশাবাদী। তিনি বলেছিলেন একদিন, সবার সামনেই বলেছিলেন একটা ভাষণে, যে আলিয়া একদিন সারা বিশ্বে বাংলার যে শ্রেষ্ঠত্ব প্রমাণ করবে আলিয়া বিশ্ববিদ্যালয়ে। এর জন্য একটা হোপ তার আছে। আমি রাজনীতির ঊর্ধ্বে গিয়ে বলছি এই কথাটা। তো যাই হোক, ইনশাল্লাহ আমরা আশা করব যে আলিয়া থেকে আমরা এমন সব রিসার্চের মধ্যে এমন সব ছেলে মেয়ে পাবো যারা সত্যিকার অর্থে পৃথিবীর নাগরিক হবে এবং পৃথিবীর জন্য কাজ করবে, মানবতার জন্য কাজ করবে। রিসার্চের ক্ষেত্রে ইসলামিক বিশ্ব, ইসলামিক নলেজ যে একটা বড় ভূমিকা পালন করেছে তা আমরা এখন জানি। আপনাদের এখানে আরেকটি সেমিনার না, সামার স্কুলে একটা সাবজেক্ট ছিল যে ম্যাথামেটিক্স এবং মেডিসিনে, দুদিন আগে হয়েছে নিশ্চয়, সেটা আমি থাকতে পারিনি। ম্যাথামেটিক্স এবং মেডিসিনে ইসলামের যে সায়েন্টিস্টরা আছেন মুসলিম, তাদের কি ভূমিকা ছিল, তারা কীভাবে দেখেছিলেন। তো আমাদেরও রিসার্চের কিছু গতিপথ আছে, কিছু লক্ষ্য আছে। একজন খুব বড় বিজ্ঞানী, নামটা এই মুহূর্তে আমি ভুলে গেছি, তাকে একজন বাদশাহ বলেছিলেন যে আপনি আমাকে এমন একটা পয়জন বানিয়ে দিন, বিষ বানিয়ে দিন, যাতে আমি যাদেরকে হত্যা করতে চাই তাদেরকে হত্যা করা হবে, কিন্তু পৃথিবী জানতে পারবে না, সে লোকটি জানতে পারবে না যে বিষ দিয়ে তাকে হত্যা করা হচ্ছে। তো সেই বিজ্ঞানী, মুসলিম বিজ্ঞানী বলেছিলেন, হ্যাঁ আমি পারি এটা বানাতে, খুব সহজে আপনাকে বানিয়ে দেবো। বাদশাহ তো মহা খুশি, তাহলে আপনাকে আমি অনেক পুরস্কার দেবো। তিনি বললেন, কিন্তু স্যার আমার একটা কথা বল। স্যার তো বলেননি, নিশ্চয়ই জাহাপনা বলেছেন, তখনকার দিনে স্যার চলতো না। জাহাপনা আমার একটা বক্তব্য আছে, সেটা হচ্ছে এই যে আল্লাহ তাআলা আমাকে নলেজ দিয়েছেন মানুষের মঙ্গলের জন্য, পৃথিবীর মঙ্গলের, দুনিয়ার মঙ্গলের জন্য। আমি এমন কোনো রিসার্চ করব না যা মানুষের ক্ষতির জন্য ব্যবহৃত হবে। সে আপনি আমাকে যাই করেন, আমি পারি এটা বানাতে, আমি বানাবো না। আমার কাজ হচ্ছে মানুষের কল্যাণ, মানুষের মঙ্গল করা। তো ইসলামিক রিসার্চের লক্ষ্য এই যে হিউম্যানিটির মঙ্গল, আমাদের দুনিয়ার মঙ্গল, পরিবেশের মঙ্গল। তো সেদিকে আমাদের রিসার্চাররা এগিয়ে যাবেন এবং আলিয়া রিসার্চের একটা পীঠস্থান হয়ে উঠবে বলে আমি দোয়া করব এবং আশা রাখবো আপনাদের কাছে। আজকে অনেকে এখানে আছেন, শর্মিষ্ঠা ম্যাডামকে আমি দেখতে পাচ্ছি, আমাদের ভাইস রেজিস্ট্রার সাহেবকে দেখতে পাচ্ছি, অ্যাসিস্ট্যান্ট রেজিস্ট্রার সাহেবকে, আমাদের নার্গিস ম্যাডাম, তাদের নাম আমি বলিনি প্রথম দিকে, এবং আবিদ হোসেন সাহেব। তিনি নিজেই বললেন 35 বছর ধরে তিনি শিক্ষার সঙ্গে যুক্ত আছেন, মাদ্রাসার সঙ্গে যুক্ত আছেন। তার চেষ্টায় 35 বছরে আজকে পশ্চিমবাংলার মাদ্রাসা এখানে এসে দাঁড়িয়েছে, আপনারা জানেন। তাকে ধন্যবাদ জানাচ্ছি আবিদ হোসেন সাহেবকে, তার চেষ্টা ছিল বলেই তো আজকে এখানে এসেছি আমরা। তো আমি আশা রাখবো যে আলিয়ার যে সাফল্য, আমি নিরন্তর আমাদের দুজন সাংবাদিককে লাগিয়ে রেখেছি, একজন এখানে আছে, যে আলিয়ার যে সমস্ত ভালো জিনিস হবে সেগুলো তোমরা পশ্চিমবাংলার মানুষের কাছে তুলে ধরো। আমাদের পত্রিকাটা অনলাইনে বাংলাদেশ এবং অন্য জায়গায়ও খুব পড়া হয়, আসামও পড়া হয়। একটু আগে বাহারুল ইসলাম সাহেব বলছিলেন যে আমাদের কলম পত্রিকা তার বাবা সেই সময় পড়তেন। এখন তো আমরা আসামে পত্রিকা পাঠাতে পারছি না নানা কারণে, কিন্তু আমাদের ডিজিটাল এডিশন সেখানে যায়। তো আমরা আশা করব যে আমরা কলমের মাধ্যমে সেটাকে আমরা ছড়িয়ে দিতে পারবো, যাতে আরও অনেক বেশি লোক এর দ্বারা, আলিয়ার দ্বারা অনুপ্রাণিত হয়। এবং আপনারা যে সেমিনার, আজকে যে ওয়ার্কশপটা করলেন, এটা ওয়ার্কশপ ছিল না সেমিনার ছিল? ওয়ার্কশপ ছিল আমাদের এডুকেশন ডিপার্টমেন্টের। আপনারা সেটা করেছেন, সাফল্যের সঙ্গে করেছেন। একজন যিনি সঞ্চালন করছেন, এক ভদ্র মহিলা, তিনি বললেন যে সব ভালো যার শেষ ভালো। তো আপনারা সেই ভালোর মধ্যেই শেষ করেছেন আপনাদের সেমিনারের পর্যায়ে যে ওয়ার্কশপটা, এবং আমরা আশা করব এই ওয়ার্কশপ আমাদেরকে আরও এগিয়ে চলার পথে নতুন দিশা দেবে। আপনাদের সবাইকে যারা পার্টিসিপেশন করেছেন, যারা এখানে এসছেন, যারা রিসোর্স পার্সন ছিলেন, তাদেরকেও আমি ধন্যবাদ জানাচ্ছি এবং আমি আশা করব আমাদের আলিয়া আরও উত্তরোত্তর এগিয়ে যাবে। ধন্যবাদ। আসসালামু আলাইকুম।
Thank you so much, Imran sir, for blessing us, for saying such kind and gracious things. And I do hope all of us present here can abide by that and grow and go in a proper path. So after this, I would like to call Professor Dr. Behrul Islam sir and kindly say a few words. So everyone, please put a huge round of applause for Dr. Behrul Islam sir.
نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي امري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Good afternoon, distinguished Vice Chancellor Professor Rafiqul Islam on the dais, distinguished guests, the chair, the deans, Professor Sharmishta, Professor Nargis, Director Madrasa Education, Mr. Hussain. Ali Imran Sahab is a very childhood memory of mine. There are only two Bengali papers used to go and my father used to read them very passionately. One is Column and another is Insaniyat by Maulana Tahir Sahab of those days. I don't know, after repeated, we tried to archive them for a long time. But last year's flood and I being in Kashipur and Assam houses, I don't know if I could still retain those copies, but this is how the reading culture grew in our childhood. I remember reading Desh at 80 paisa per page, Anando Mela around 2 rupees, 5 rupees. So the reading habit, which I am extending that, it comes from a longer period of time in a smaller installments. I read one of the most controversial novels, and but I read it at the age when I did not even know what it is about. It is Prem Nahi by Gaur Kishore Ghosh, Kalpurush, Manav Jamin, and all those things that I read. And sometime I don't know. Now I am a father, and I'll be very worried if my son is reading at class 8 or something like Prem Nahi. And I'll be very worried. But anyway, my father said, "Cute energy." So anyway, I went to a district library and read those. To extend one thing is that if you can watch, I will just refer because I have a very limited time. I'll give tips. Those who can pick up, nothing else. Listen to the Stanford convocation lecture given by Steve Jobs, Connecting the Dots. It's one of the million time watched lecture. What it talks about, and we always talk about, is that connecting the dots is later. First you draw the dots. What you are doing today, don't think about it, that what it will be used, how will I use it, will it help me? You put those dots on, you never know when it will come. To give a story, when I went back from Aligarh, in Aligarh our day starts at 8 p.m. after dinner. Aligarh की शाम जिंदा ही होती है 8 बजे. अनवर साहब हमारे साथी बताएंगे और अली अगर यहाँ है. वहां से जब एमए पास करके लौटे असम, वहां 5 मगरिब के साथ वहां जिंदगी खत्म ही हो जाती है. बत्तियां बुझ जाती है. बस नमाजी लोग ऐशा में एक दो खांसते खांसते जाते हैं. बाकी तो उस छोटे से शहर में करे क्या? In Aligarh, we used to go without ticket, of course. From Aligarh, who pays 11 rupees for this? So from Aligarh to Delhi, without ticket, we go watch a drama in Kamani Auditorium, have a kulfi in quality in Connaught Place, and come back by midnight. But in Silchar, you don't have anywhere to go. So I joined the National Institute of Technology. So one day evening, I saw Silchar Women's College. Now, this is one of the interesting things you watch when you are growing up. Though you are not allowed to stare too much and stand there. Somebody, uncle, or hey, करने की दाढ़ी. Those guardians are gone. अब तो डर लगता है उल्टा चाटा मुझे ही मार देगा. तुमसे क्या मतलब? But in our days, guardians were everybody. Hey, खाने दाढ़ी. So I watched that evening. The women's college is open. First, for some time, I thought I may be dreaming, and a lot of girls are coming out. अरे यार ये जन्नत रात को भी खुल गई, ये कहाँ से आ रहे हैं? अलीगढ़ वाली दिमाग है, जरा सा पूछा तो कहा नहीं यहाँ बीएड कॉलेज चलता है नाइट में, और बीएड ज्यादातर लड़कियां पढ़ती हैं. Statistically, the probability ratio is very high. So I said, how do I get in education? So that was the first motive, and I did not know. And so there is a program called B.Ed. I was teaching in an university, and I don't need it, but I just see that so many things, and I joined B.Ed. I went with that with a kind of funny intention of spending evening. Then next 5 years I spent with a law college. Only two places which evening is open. One is Silchar Law College and this Women's College, Silchar College of Education giving B.Ed. So 4 years evening, instead of sitting at home, and I do have any life in Assam baking home. But this connected, when this B.Ed helped. And then I taught the B.Ed program. I really liked the subject. I knew that without any training, I'm teaching in a university when I don't know what is the validity of a question. I don't know student psychology, I'm teaching in a postgraduate class. I don't know curriculum, the structure of a curriculum. I don't know lesson plan, how my 1 hour of lecture is divided. I don't know, but I'm giving lecture because I'm called a lecturer. So this helped like 12 years when I wanted to have a promotion, and there were 41 candidates, NCRT, Delhi, as you know, and there was a post of reader open, and there were 31 candidates, and I am from Assam, already marginalized, Prantik Elakar, Prantiyotar, Shomosto, Bada, Viputti. The only hope was that my wife was insisting, because NCRT is paying 3-tier SC, and she's insisting to see Qutub Minar. That's the only positive thing to go to NCRT interview. Otherwise, at that point of time, with Murli Manohar Joshi as education minister, Vajpayee ji as a prime minister, and Jagmohan Singh Rajput as director of NCRT, Baharul Islam is not made to go there and get humiliated. So that was my aim. You give the appeal and take the TAD and come back home. At least आधा खर्चा तो सरकार उठाएगी, बीबी का टिकट मैं ले लूँगा. And after 2-3 candidates were out, and we asked what they were asking, why they were like disturbed, very disturbed. The expert was Professor Sunaina Singh, who is an Oxford professor of English, and she became Vice Chancellor of IFLU and Vice Chancellor of Osmania, a very prominent name in English. She was asking every student the question, which is a kind of googly, is that what is 3-language formula, and why English is being taught, or English is taught in Indian schools, and what is the role of NCRT? Now this is only in B.Ed classroom taught. 3-language formula, Macaulay, is all B.Ed program. And all my competitors, the 31 candidates, they are what? They are lecturer in English in Delhi's big colleges, very smart ladies and gentlemen. A lot of publication in Shakespearean drama and Milton's these and that. But everyone is getting disturbed by one question, which is, what is a 3-language formula? What is the role of English in 3-language formula? And this was like brought from the book, sir, ye to syllabus ke bahar ka sawal. I could answer that because 6 years ago, 1995 graduate, and this interview is happening in 2002. Like 7 years ago, I did my B.Ed. Then you connect the dot. I did my postgraduate in law in Strathclyde University with UN scholarship, because to pass the evening I did LLB for nothing. वो प्रिंसिपल, अब तुम कैसे आ गए भाई, वकालती को मैं करना नहीं. So sometimes something you don't know where it will help. Only thing is the junoon shiddat ki this is a time I'll pass and it will never come back. I was more worried. My evenings are going. If I sleep, it will go. अराउंड मगरिब के बाद ही थोड़ी देर में हमारी माताएं भी, हमारी अम्मी भी जो है ना, खाना वाना मगरिब के बाद बना. तो स्कूल लाइफ में तो बड़ा अच्छा लगता था, मगरिब की 1-1 घंटे बाद अजान हो गई, खाना खा के सो गए. But at this point of time, it was like evening will go. That those things, and I am saying this to you, today you don't have to, because I did not have any option. Internet nahi tha. did not have Coursera or Udemy or anything. So I had to physically go to an evening college to learn. Today, we don't have any excuse to say that I don't know. In CAT interviews, you know, we have a lot of applications and we have to, basically we eliminate people. So I have only 4,000 seats, odd seats. I have 2 lakh candidates. I cannot take everybody. So we ask so many questions just to stop them because they are 90 percentile. My institute does not take anybody below 80 percentile. 80 percentile, you can give an interview. And after 80 percentile, you cannot ask very knowledge questions. They will answer very fast. They're very good. So we ask questions like, where are you from? West Bengal. পশ্চিমবঙ্গের 5 জন স্বাধীনতা সংগ্রামীর নাম বলো। अब शैम्पू बेचने में ये क्या काम आएगा पता नहीं। After MBA, you are going to work for Hindustan Liver and sell shampoo. But this is what we are. So at one point of time, many people, they lose the basics because the reading habit, understanding, tell them, they get trained in Kota or somewhere. And there is a very good question we ask at the evening, and 10 marks is given out of 50, extra co-curricular activities. So what do you do besides doing BA, BTech, electrical engineering from Shivpur B? What did you do from IIT Kharagpur? And they will say, sir, I like reading. गया काम से तो तेरी शक्ल से ही लग रहा है बेटा तू कुछ पढ़ाई वड़ा है नहीं कोटा में रटा दिया which book did you read 5 Point Someone by Chetan Bhagat अब उत्तर प्रदेश का लौंडा cannot know what is Godan by Premchand पढ़ा तो तूने क्या पढ़ा if you have not read those things. So you see the depth is going down. My only aim is that शिद्दत से कोई चीज करो ना वो शाहरुख खान वाला डायलॉग तो सुना ही होगा किसी चीज को शिद्दत लेकिन हमारे बच्चे कुछ गलत चीजों को शिद्दत से चाहते हैं वो अलग बात है तुम कितना हो चाहो विराट कोहली छोड़ थोड़ी देगा चाहते रहो सो शिद्दत से कोई चीज तो एक चीज पूछिए ना अच्छा इसी स्टोरी के साथ मैं खत्म करना चाहूंगा कि कभी कभी मजाक में कहा हुआ बात अगर सुन लेना आदमी पकड़ ले तो उसकी जिंदगी बदल जाती है मैं कोई धर्मगुरु बाबा नहीं हूं लेकिन इन चीजों को देखता हूं तो मुझे लगता है when I see those things I see that something is much more larger than we used to attend classes. Somebody was saying history. We had a professor of physics at Aliah Muslim University called Professor Farhan Mujib. He was a kind of untouchable within physics department because he did his PhD on history of physics. So they used to think that you are not a physics guy, go to history. And history wala used to say, you did your MSc in physics, go to physics department. But he became one of India's most popular who launched the Doordarshan one, if you remember, my age people will remember, black and white Shiksha program. He launched it, Professor Farhan Mujib, along with Jayanta Vishnu Narlirkar, that was the name. So we used to go to Farhan Mujib to learn. Faizan Mustafa was a young lecturer there in English department, in law department. So from English, we are not LLB student. We used to sit in the back and listen what Faizan Mustafa is a very dynamic young professor coming up. Professor Shabir in law. We went to geography. I told Zaman sahab, हम जियोग्राफी में जाके बैठ जाते थे हमें जियोग्राफी हमारा स्टूडेंट नहीं मोहम्मद शफी साहब अनवर भाई को बता रहे थे कि उस बंदे को देखने जाते थे कि जो बंदा महीने में 10 कंट्री में जाता है बिकॉज ही वाज द वाइस चेयरमैन ऑफ वर्ल्ड जियोग्राफी कांग्रेस और समथिंग लाइक दैट जियोग्राफी यूनियन सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पोस्ट वेरी रेयरली achieved by an Indian. Professor Muhammad Shafi, who became later pro-chancellor of Aligarh Muslim University, he was a professor of. We want to go to see those people. Professor Shafi को देखना चाहते, तो उनसे बात सुनना चाहते, दुनिया घूम के आते हैं. He used to tell about those things. Today, आज you have such a wonderful thing called WhatsApp or internet or whatever. If you use it in the correct, today you do not have any excuse to say that I don't know. The word you should delete from your word. सो कैट इंटरव्यू में अक्सर पूछ, अब सवाल खत्म हो गया। अच्छा ये लोग क्या करते हैं, लाइव में अपना ग्रुप में बांटते रहते हैं। तो we hide our name so they don't identify us who is taking interview from which IIM. I'm maybe from Calcutta, maybe from Lucknow. So they go out and write. Panel number 5, white sari madam is asking about freedom fighters in Uttar Pradesh. अगले स्टूडेंट को पूछे कि वो oh you are from Uttar Pradesh, tell 5 freedom fighters name, वो 25 का नाम बता दिया। रट गया है उस दरमियान। By this time it has become viral. So we have to change the question very soon because they put it on live telecast like group. So panel number 5 is asking about freedom fight. Panel number 6 is asking about the name of the Vice President of India. Another question. पंडित रविशंकर से लेके उस्ताद जाकिर हुसैन सबका नाम बता देगा, पता ही नहीं है कौन वाइस प्रेसिडेंट। At one point of time, we have to think about that fundamental adding of a thing. So suddenly we ask, they say, what should be the proper length of a full shirt, sleeves? अब बताइए हमारे जैसे मेल 1 लाख लोग हैं, बच्चे कैंपस में 700 बच्चे हैं, तो उसमें से 500 ने तो फुल शर्ट पहना ही होगा। Do a survey tomorrow and ask them, how many of them know what is the standard length of a size? कफ को कितनी बार मोड़ने में पता लगता है कि आप फाइट करने वाले हो, और कितनी बार मोड़ना फॉर्मल में अलाउड है, पता है किसी को? कुर्ता पहन रहे भाई, पीएचडी थोड़ी कर रहे हैं इसके ऊपर, काहे दिमाग खराब करते हैं सब क्वेश्चन करके। Many people will tell it is useless knowledge, why should I know how, what is, but that practice you have to create, that something which is in front of me, just like a half shirt, like a mic. प्रोग्राम में गए तो माइक में साउंड होता नहीं है, कभी कभार साउंड इको करता है, बहुत मुश्किल होता है, देखते हैं चले आते हैं, सवाल नहीं पूछते कि ये साउंड करता क्यों है। मैं ये इस्लामिक स्टडीज में बीए ऑनर्स कर रहा हूँ, ये साउंड इको हुआ उसको जानने में मुझे क्या है भाई, कौन सा सवाब मिलेगा, छोड़ो। As a student, this is the part that anything goes before. Even if I'm not a physics, sitting there, if the sound is making, I put in my Google, why the mic do the echo? That should be our next second habit. Because by this time, this guy is doing the mic, you are talking to your friend, checking the WhatsApp, nothing is adding to your knowledge. But the same thing you are asking, why this mic is making echo sound? Without being a student, you may be a student of history, but you will come to know how this sound echoes, why this monitor sound and the microphone has to have a particular distance. So these are the dots you connect. I have to take your leave. Today, sir has given, I have to tell Professor Rafiqul Islam Saab, because of our name similarity, somebody WhatsApped me in the morning on a particular day, and it is a big shot. If you want, insist, I can show you that WhatsApp. Your name has been approved. I was thinking, कि मैंने जब आलिया में अप्लाई ही नहीं किया भाई, मेरा नाम कौन अप्रूव कर रहा है? और सचिवालय में ये कौन दोस्त मेरा पैदा हो गया जो मुझे व्हाट्सएप करके मेरी नींद हराम कर दी? क्योंकि आलिया यूनिवर्सिटी यूट्यूब में नाम डालो तो बहुत ज्यादा हिम्मत नहीं होती। और मैं गुस्साया हुआ था कि मैंने जब अप्लाई ही नहीं किया, ये कौन आदमी जब मेरे है, एक मंत्री जी मेरे क्लास फेलो, मैंने कहा इस बदमाश ने तो मुझे वहां नहीं फंसाया। टिपिकली आई डिड नॉट अप्लाई टू आलिया। नो, नाम एकदम, योर नेम हैज बीन जस्ट क्लियर हो गया है। It was a half day of nightmare, Dr. Islam. And today I see the reliever of that nightmare. And it is a great courage, I would say, a professor of Professor Islam's stature, and he belongs to my own management and business school biradari. पैसा ही हमारा वो सारा छोड़ करके, perhaps you are doing the atonement for all of us who have wished but do not come back to give service to the community. अलीगढ़ में सर सैयद ने कहा था यहाँ से पढ़ाई करो, ये अब्र हमेशा उठेगा और अब अरे और बरसेगा कि अपना पे स्केल बढ़ाएंगे यार, अब्र हमेशा। इतनी मेहनत से पढ़ाई किए हैं, लंबी गाड़ी फ्लैट वर्ट ना हो, अब वो कौम का खिदमत करने लग जाएगा तो ये कौन करेगा? So it is very difficult to come back to the society or the state or the language. I have been outside Assam for last 20 years. अब तो मुश्किल थोड़ा और ज्यादा है, अब चाहे भी तो लौट नहीं सकते. At one point of time, therefore Aliah University, friends, colleagues, you were so fortunate to get a vice chancellor like this. With that kind of background, it's a great courage, and I wish and I pray to the Almighty to give all the success to him, his team, students. I have been here on various occasions, and I really love the campus. If anything today you need, it is a matter of connection. Today you have a workshop, 5 days workshop. Some tips Honorable Vice Chancellor has given. Now it is your time to collect those. Write one email, send it to 100 people on your subject on LinkedIn. I guarantee you, if you send 100, at least 10 people will respond back, who may be a professor of an university who can help you. He will be interested in your subject. This is how build your network. ये जरूरी थोड़ा कि workshop करेगा और तब आके बैठ के हम सीखेंगे. पत्थर तोड़ के पानी निकालना. ये अलीगढ़ की हमारी सर सैयद की उस इदारे की एक कहावत है, कहते पत्थर तोड़ के निकालना. I got my first scholarship जब उसमें लिखा हुआ था बैंक ऑफ बड़ौदा इंजीनियरिंग एंड मेडिकल स्टूडेंट्स ओनली अप्लाई. मैं ईमेल इंग्लिश में अप्लाई किया और वही स्कॉलरशिप लेके आया. जब बाकी लोगों ने सोचा कि ये तो इंजीनियरिंग के लिए, मैंने कहा क्या होगा, फॉर्म भरेंगे, कुछ गाली देगा, फिर फाड़ के डस्टबिन में फेंकेगा. लेकिन ऐसा हुआ नहीं. अनिल गुप्ता जो अलीगढ़ के बैंक ऑफ बड़ौदा के ब्रांच मैनेजर थे, उन्होंने मुझे बुलाया. उस गधे को बुलाओ जो इतना बड़ा पोस्टर में लिखा हुआ इंजीनियरिंग एंड मेडिकल कॉलेज अप्लाई, एमए इंग्लिश वाले ने अप्लाई क्यों किया? भाई तुम कौन सा इंग्लिश पढ़े हो? ये इंग्लिश पढ़ नहीं पाए, तुम काहे के एमए इंग्लिश कर? बट आई वांटेड दैट अपॉर्चुनिटी. आंचल तल, अनवर भाई को पता है, आंचल तल वो शहर के कटपुल्ला के उधर मेन ब्रांच. आई मेट अनिल गुप्ता also last year. He became my family friend. So he was मुस्कुराएंगे at me. अच्छा, आप तो कहते हैं मैं इंग्लिश में हूं, पोस्टर पढ़ी नहीं, अंग्रेजी में तो था. मैंने कहा सर आपने लिखा विद्यार्थी योजना, मैं विद्यार्थी हूं और ये योजना में मुझे मिलना चाहिए. तो उन्होंने बताया बैंक का, भाई इंजीनियर मेडिकल वाले नौकरी मिल जाएगी, पैसे वापस करेंगे. भाई तू एमए इंग्लिश भूखा मरेगा, मुझे भी मरवाएगा, कहां से इंस्टॉलमेंट लौटा? Who will give you the money? Then he said, okay, blah blah, how the money will come back? You are from Assam. This is Aligarh branch. You pass out, you go home. Who will go to Assam to recover the money from you? Because there is a condition after 4 years of getting the scholar Vidyarthi money, you get a job, and after 4 years interest free, you return them. So he was worried. So I wrote to him, I told him, no, I'll return your money and I guarantee I'll get a job. He wrote to the Bank of Baroda headquarters, got a special permission to give an engineering college Vidyarthi Yojana to MA English, and that's me. Aligarh ne hame sikha. So never leave anything for that. And I just told you, I did my LLM on UN scholarship. When this was circulated, I was very new in the UN system and I was doing this after teaching, 10 साल एक ही सिलेबस, एक ही लोग, ऐसी कैंपस देखते देखते बोर हो जाते, उनसे लड़ने लगते हैं, फिर आप राजनीति करने लगते हैं. तो मैंने कहा ये पढ़ाई वढ़ाई छोड़ो, यूएन ज्वाइन कर लेते हैं, नए चेहरे, नए देश, नए लोग मिलेंगे, मुस्कुराहट. तो चले गए यूएन में. पता लगा हमारे पास तो लॉ का डिग्री है ही नहीं, ये तो एमए इंग्लिश करके घुस गया. भाई अच्छा रिपोर्ट लिखता है लेकिन इसके ऊपर टेलीकॉम लॉ और जो साइबर क्राइम के ऊपर मेरा पकड़, मतलब कोई डिग्री नहीं. तो स्कॉलरशिप एक आ गया तो मैंने अप्लाई कर दी. वो इस बात पूछे नहीं फॉर्म में कि यू आर एन अफ्रीकन और एन इंडियन. बेसिकली दोस टू स्कॉलरशिप वेर फॉर एन African UN official to go to London and study. I applied because I saw the form. There is no column whether you are an African, Asian, no column. You write your nationality, passport, or all these things. I got the scholarship. Only then my head office came out of the sleep. Arey, Professor Islam, there is a mistake. By God, you were in India. How can you take this scholarship, man? I said, why you did not write it in the application form for Africans only? I submitted my application as per your circular. University of Glasgow, Strathclyde University has selected me, giving me full scholarship. Now, my brother, I am going to study. Thank you very much. Don't disturb me again. Correct your form next year. Next year, you correct your form. So, opportunity will come if you see and fear. I am from Aliah, I am from village, my parents are poor, I am very not strong in English, my language is not. No. These are not your जुनून होना चाहिए. जो जिस स्टोरी को से भटक गया मैं, and I'll conclude it now. कॉरिडोर में सर इस्लाम सर को भी पता होगा, बिजनेस स्कूल के कॉरिडोर में हम लोग टिप्स देते हैं, बच्चे आ जाते हैं, प्लेसमेंट है सर, व्हाट डू एंड दिस एंड दैट. तो एक बच्ची को भगाने के लिए मैंने ऐसे टिप्स दे दिया. मैंने कहा यार तुम बियॉन्ड एमबीए व्हाट यू हैव डन स्पेशली इन इंटरव्यू बोर्ड, व्हाई दे शुड रिमेंबर यू डिफरेंटली, बिकॉज दे विल मीट ब्रिलियंट एमबीए स्टूडेंट्स थ्रू आउट द डे. एक कंपनी आएगी, 50 बच्चियों का इंटरव्यू लेगी, तुम्हें याद क्यों रखेगी, तुम्हें नौकरी क्यों देगा, वो स्पेशल चीज क्या बताओगे. So she said something like, sir, my CGPA is 9.5, sir, this, that, I was a member of marketing club. ये तो और 4 आदमी बताएगा. तुम शिद्दत से पिछले 2 साल क्या किए हो, या बचपन से कौन चीज में तुम्हारा दिलचस्पी है. तुम कुछ कह रहे थे, मैंने कहा आचार डालो तुम्हारी एमबीए की. ऐसे ही होता है ना, नॉर्थ इंडिया में आचार डालने कहते हैं कि तुम्हारे एमबीए की आचार डालो. तुम 2 साल पढ़ चुके हो, तुम ये बता नहीं पा रहे हो कि उस सिलेबस में कौन सा हिस्से में तुम्हारा शिद्दत है, कि मैं मार्केटिंग में मेरा दिलचस्पी है, फाइनेंस में है, ऑपरेशंस में है. अच्छा, उस बच्ची ने जो है ना आचार को गलत पकड़ लिया. उसने सोचा आचार इंडस्ट्री में जॉब निकल रही, फूड सेक्टर में ज्यादा काम होगा, सर टिप्स. उसने आचार के ऊपर 1 महीना पढ़ डाला. फेमस तब हुई जब उस दिन कैंपस आई और कोई मेरे ख्याल से हिंदुस्तान लीवर, एक बड़े एफएमसीजी सेक्टर के लोग आए, और वो जाते हुए हमारे प्लेसमेंट डिपार्टमेंट को बता के गए हैं कि यार वी आर रिक्रूटिंग दैट गर्ल, शी इज वेरी ब्रिलियंट. फॉर व्हाट? बोले शी नोज एवरीथिंग अबाउट द पिकल. एंड दैट मैटर केम अप. किसी ने बताया ये इस्लाम सर ने टिप दिया था. तो फिर लोग मुझे, मैं तब तक भूल चुका था. मैंने उसको कहा था तुम्हारा एमबीए का आचार डालो, तुम्हारा कोई स्पेशलाइजेशन है नहीं. फिर बाद में मैंने पूछा यार ये क्या कर लिया तुमने, तुम्हारा बड़ा नाम हो गया. बोले सर उन्होंने मुझे पूछा व्हाट डिड यू लर्न, व्हाट इज डू स्पेशली. देन शी सेड सर आई एम इंटरेस्टेड इन पिकल्स. तो जाहिर सी बात है वो कंपनी के मैनेजर लोग कहते अच्छा पिकल, व्हाट अबाउट पिकल, इज इट इन योर सिलेबस. बोला नो सर, देयर आर सो मेनी काइंड ऑफ पिकल, मालदा पिकल, आम का अचार इधर से उधर जाता है, इतना $1 मिलियन का मार्केट है, बांग्लादेश से इतना जाता है, पाकिस्तान से इतना आता है, हिंदुस्तान का इतना है, आम इतने दिन रहता है शेल्फ में, यूरोप में सेल करने के लिए इसका शेल्फिंग लाइफ इतना होना चाहिए. They gave them so much interested in the evening when they were discussing. All the 3 panel members were remember, यार वो अचार वाली लड़की यार, she is very smart. उसका पता नहीं मार्केटिंग में क्या करेगी नहीं करेगी, इवनिंग तक वो सक्सेस. So sometime even आचार can help you, लेकिन शिद्दत से उसके ऊपर पढ़ाई करना. Only then you are remembered. Being general is over. This is the time to be special. Use internet, collect more friends, reach out to me, reach out to others, reach out to Professor Islam, he has network. All subject, people will come to you if you show the interest. कि हम आलिया के 25 बच्चे हम अगले 3 दिन फलाना हिस्टोग्राफी में वर्कशॉप करना चाहते हैं, आपको कराया जाएगा. यहां नहीं तो लंदन में नहीं, ऑक्सफोर्ड में नहीं, नॉर्वे में, कहीं ना कहीं लोग हैं जो आपको ट्रेन कर सकते हैं. लेकिन आप वो पहला कदम बढ़ाओ, वो ग्रुप आप बनाओ. वो रीच आउट करो। 10 लोग रिप्लाई नहीं देंगे लेकिन एक रिप्लाई देंगे, पत्थर तोड़ के पानी निकालने का वक्त आ गया। थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर योर पेशेंस। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
আমি আপনাদেরকে বলবো জনাব বাহারুল ইসলাম সাহেবকে, ডোন্ট লিভ হিম টুডে, প্লিজ কিপ হিম ফর 7 days and we are going to work there.
আচ্ছা, হাসতে হাসতে শিখতে শিখতে কখন যে একদম এন্ড অফ দ্য সেশন আমরা এসে গেছি আমরা একদম রিয়েলাইজ করতে পারিনি। So now I would like to say Dr. Ashfaq Ali sir, if sir you could say a few words on this session. This is the last part of this valedictory session. So sir, please few say some words.
Assalamu alaikum and very good afternoon. Honorable Vice Chancellor of Aliah University, respected dignitaries on the dais, guests, my dear esteemed colleagues, my beloved students. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It is both an honor and a privilege for me to stand before you today at the valedictory session of this remarkable 5 days workshop on multidisciplinary research methodology. At the beginning, I would like to congratulate the Department of Education, Aliah University, for organizing and executing successfully such an intellectually enriching initiative. It is my firm belief that all the participants have been enriched from this workshop. This will motivate and help them in their future course of research in proper and fruitful way. My dear students, you have learned a lot in these 5 days, starting from philosophical principles of research to research design, from data analysis to writing research proposal, from research integrity and publication ethics to scope of multidisciplinary research. Already we have spent more than an hour in this concluding session, so I don't want to make you bore with my prolonged speech. Rather, being a student of physics, I take this opportunity to tell 2 incidents which made revolutions in the history, not only in the history of physics, but also the entire science. We know about Albert Einstein, and he was awarded the Nobel Prize on photoelectric effect, but his most remarkable achievement was the theory of relativity. In this regard, a contradiction between 2 theories led him to establish the theory of relativity. One was Newtonian relativity, based on Newton's laws. Simply, which says that if I am traveling in a train and a train is moving at a speed of x and I am moving at a speed of y along the direction of motion of the train, then with respect to an observer standing on the platform, my speed will be x plus y. And if we move opposite to the direction of motion of the train, then it will be x minus y. Simple. And governing the theories of electricity, magnetism, etc., there was very remarkable theories of Maxwell, according to which the speed of light depends only on the medium, not on the observer. That is, if the source is moving or observer is moving or not, the speed of light in air or vacuum, it will be constant. Does not depend on the motion of the observer or source. So Einstein thought over it. Before him, there were 2 possibilities. One is to take Newton is right and Maxwell's equations or his theory are to be modified. and vice versa. It was his intuition and started his work assuming that Maxwell is right and the theory of Newton, which is supposed to be the father of physics, that is required to be corrected, modified. And then with the help of mathematics, he proved it and established the revolutionary theory of relativity. It is one incident. The second incident is also related to Einstein. We all know that the entire universe is made of two entities. One is particle and another is wave, light, sound, etc. These are waves. In explaining photoelectric effect, Einstein proposed that light not only behaves as wave, but also under certain circumstances, it behaves like a particle. After a few years, Louis de Broglie, who was actually a man of history and then shifted to physics, questioned in his mind on the theory of Einstein, which regarded to be the great genius in physics, in the history of physics. He questioned in his mind, why does nature give some more privilege to light or such type of wave, not to the particle? Nature cannot be biased, cannot be one-sided. There should be a symmetry everywhere. There should be an even distribution, a rhythm. If there is no rhythm, no symmetry, no even distribution, something is wrong. Later on, this idea was established theoretically and mathematically. With these two incidents, my intention is to tell that philosophical aspect in research is very much important for success in the field of research. For a good and quality research, shaping your mind, tuning your mind, questioning repeatedly your mind and thoughts, these are very much essential. I wish your grand success in the field of research. Before I conclude, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to the Department of Education. I hope they will continue to organize such type of beneficial workshop or seminar in future. With these few words, I conclude here. Thank you.
This is the last event, the certificate distribution. All the participants are requested to gather near the right wings. Certificate distribution will start very soon. I request all the guests to stand and please distribute the certificates. All the participants, we will call out the name and collect your certificate. First, Abbasuddin Ansari, Abdul Mannan Sahib. I'm calling out the name. Please come and stand near the second right wings. Abbasuddin Ansari, Abdul Mannan Sahib, Abdullah Sheikh, Abu Shahid Muhammad Soil, Achinta Roy, Amlan De, Arif Iftakhar, Orpita Trivedi, Atikur Rahman, Bithi Paul, Devashi Singha, Deepkalpo Basudas, Dr. Shahid Ahmed, Dr. Aklima Khatun, Dr. Nilufar Firdaus, Dr. Rumi Sain, Dr. Sumayya Ahmed, Dr. Usha Malik, Farooq Bishwas, Farooq Hassan, Gul Nashin, Haidar Sheikh. Participants are requested to come in front of the stage. There will be a photo session. Call out. হ্যাঁ বলতে থাকছি কতদূর হয়েছে। হায়দার শেখ, হানিন বাদশাহ, হেফজুর রহমান, হিয়া মজুমদার, ইশিতা মন্ডল. All the guests are requested to come in front for the certificate distribution. I'm calling out the name one by one. Please collect your certificate. Jahangir Vishwas, Jahid Hassan. As we are severely running out of time, so I'm quickly calling out the name. Please do cooperation with us. Jemima Rahman, Jemima Sultana, Kamrul Islam, Qazi Hasibur Rahman, Lubna Tabassum, Mahbub sir. I think that I have called out the name till Jemima Sultana, Kamrul Islam, Qazi Hasibur Rahman, Lubna Tabassum, Mahasin Ali Khan, Mary Nazmin Akhtar, Mashud Ali Kayal, Pajan. Muhammad Atif Ali.
Hello.
That's how you will go faster.
আমি সেটাই বলছি। দাঁড়ান, আচ্ছা কাট দেবো বলতেছি। আব্বাসউদ্দিন আনসারি, আব্দুল মান্নান সাহেব, আব্দুল্লাহ শেখ, আবু শাহিদ, মোহাম্মদ সোহেল, অচিন্ত রয়, অমলান দে, আরিফ ইফতেখার, অর্পিতা ত্রিবেদী, আতিকুর রহমান, বিথি ফল,
এই সিরিয়ালটা এখানে নষ্ট করতেছ।
ঠিক আছে, হ্যাঁ আমি নামগুলো ডাকছি, যারা আছেন প্লিজ এগিয়ে আসবেন, আর না থাকলে আমরা রেখে দিচ্ছি। আব্বাসউদ্দিন আনসারি মনে হচ্ছে নেই, আব্দুল মান্নান সাহেব, এই যে স্যার আব্দুল্লাহ আছেন কি এখানে? আবু শাহিদ মোহাম্মদ সোহেল আছেন কি? অচিন্ত রয় আছে, হ্যাঁ। অমলান দে আছেন কি? নেই। আরিফ ইফতেখার, নীলোফার ফিরদৌস, এখান থেকে নিও না। অর্পিতা ত্রিবেদী, Ankita Trivedi, Bithi Paul, Bithi Paul, Dr. Aklima Khatun, Dr. Aklima Khatun আছেন কি? নেই। আচ্ছা। সুমাইয়া আহমদ আছেন কি? ফারুক বিশ্বাস নেই। আছে। গুলনশীন দীপকল্প বাসুদাস আছেন কি? আছেন? ও দীপকল্পা ওকে। হিফজুর রহমান ম্যাম ইনি আছেন, স্যারকে দিয়ে দিন।
স্যার আরিফ আমাদের আরিফ
আর ঘেটো না। হ্যাঁ না এই করো না প্লিজ।
দেখে দেখেই বলবে।
হিয়া মজুমদার, হিয়া মজুমদার, ইপসিতা মজুমদার, if you are there, ইপসিতা মজুমদার, জাহাঙ্গীর বিশ্বাস, জাহিদ হাসান, জেমিমা রহমান, नहीं 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 ओ अच्छे, जेमिमा सुल्ताना, कमरुल इस्लाम, काजी हासिबुर रहमान, लुबना तबस्सुम, महसीन अली खान, मेरी नाजमीन अख्तर, मेरी मासूद अली कयाल, मोहम्मद फैजुर रहमान, नहीं মনে হচ্ছে, মোহাম্মদ হাবিবুল্লাহ, মোহাম্মদ মুত্তালিব, मोहम्मद सैफुल्लाह मोमीन, मोहम्मद शमसुर रहमान, আছেন, मोहम्मद शाहनवाज इस्लाम मोल्ला, मोहम्मद वासिम अकराम, मोहम्मद यासिर अराफत, मोहम्मद जाहिर उद्दीन,
যারা সার্টিফিকেট পাচ্ছেন কাইন্ডলি বসে যান।
Please, those who have got the certificate, please be seated. Mohammad Zulfakur Alam, two times written, ma'am. Mohammad Zulfakur Alam. মিঠু দাস, মনিকা পাত্র, মনিকা রজক, মোহাম্মদ ফাইজুর রহমান, হানিম বাদশাহ, মনিরুল মন্ডল, হাসুনা বানু, হাসুনা বানু, মইজুল শেখ, Masammat Salmaz, maybe not there. Nasiba Parveen, are you there? Yeah. Yes. After collecting the certificate, move from the left wing. Nasiruddin, Natasha Parveen, Naushad Anwar, Naushad Anwar, Nishat Yasmin. Please don't go. All the participants are requested. Wait for the photo session. So after collecting the certificate, please be seated. Nishat Yasmin, Nushrat Tasneem, Nudrat Tasneem. Yes. Separated. Noor Alam, Priyanka Oja, Rahil Parveen, maybe not there. 2 times. Separated. Rakib Sheikh, Rinki Khatun, Rohil Sheikh, Rahil Parveen. Rohil Sheikh. Okay. Saddam Hussein is there? Sadiqur Rahman. Shahid Anwar. Shahjahan Ali, Shahib Qazi, Shajid Ali Mistri, Saif Muhammad, maybe not there. I'm sorry. Saliha Khatun,
Next, Sajda Khatun. Then Sana Tabassum. Are you here, Sana? Sana Tabassum. Shahid Iqbal Ansari. Shaista Parveen. Sheikh Ibadullah. Sheikh Samim Hussain. Sheikh Tausif Hassan. Sohail Rana Sheikh. Sohail Rana Sheikh, Suman Mandal, Shagota Kundu, William Sajid Sultan, are you here? Collect. All the participants are requested to please assemble in front of the dais. So one of our participants is here, Ipshita Majumdar. I request the guests to please hand over. Ipshita. Photographers, please take the photo. We have few more participants. Ipshita is here, Ipshita Majumdar. Monica Patro. Madam. Yeah, Monica Patro. Receive it from ma'am. Rinki, please side. Rinki, please side. Go down. Go down.
All are requested to be seated or to assemble near the stage. Now I would request our co-convener, Mahbub sir, to give vote of thanks.
Good afternoon.
Vote of thanks, Mahbub sir.
I would like to express
Please,
my
others be
gratitude
seated.
and a special thanks to
Others,
each
please be
and
quiet.
everyone associated with this workshop, especially Honorable Vice
I
Chancellor
request
Sir,
Mirajul Karim sir to kindly come on the dais
Registrar
and Anwar Jaman sir
Sir,
to please come on the dais
Deputy
for the photo
Registrar Sir,
session.
Dean Madam, Humanities and Languages, Dean Science and Technology, Dean Student Welfare, Controller of Examination, Finance Officer, and all the resource person. A special thanks to the chairperson and head of the department, Dr. Zakir Hossain Lashkar, for providing such opportunity to conduct and gain knowledge in the field of research. I would like to extend my gratitude to the convener of this workshop, Dr. Prakriti Ranjan Sarkar sir. It is important to give huge thanks to all the faculty members of our department and our beloved research scholar and students. Thank you so much all. Thank you to all the participants.
There is high tea being served outside the auditorium. Participants can kindly take the tea.